Oh, we did it. Hello.
We're alive.
Hello.
Everybody.
I'm not ready.
Have you chosen your feet yet, Docs?
Yep.
Have you? What'd you go for?
Charge.
Charge.
Or charger.
Okay, well, let's start this session first off by saying hello to everybody
Hello.
in cool and out of cool. Hello, everyone in stream, chat, and in the future.
And in
Who
the
may or
past.
may not be watching this. No, fuck people in the past. Fuck them all. Fuck every single one of them.
Maybe someone downloaded this from YouTube way in the future when there's a time machine, went back in the past and is watching it then. Let's not exclude those people.
I would prefer to exclude those people. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well.
I want to know what we eventually did to be that important that somebody would do all that.
That's true. I would like. Surely they could go back in time to watch us live.
No.
But for them, it would be the past.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, Katie is locked in the basement. It's
She's locked.
She's
in the
got a
basement.
It's
camera.
very dark in here, but it's supposed to be good for my skin.
I didn't get a chance to see the. Oh, wait, I'm gonna load up the stream just so I can see the. I tend to not have it open whilst we're apart from the chat, whilst we're streaming because I don't want my connection to be fucky. And I have a.
Also, it's weird watching yourself in the past.
Okay, but I missed the intro screen. Shit. But I'm very excited for all the stuff that Jenny's doing because she's been doing some awesome logo stuff and it's amazing. And I saw it and I almost cried.
Oh my gosh! Now
Not
I
even
have to,
kidding.
I'm so unprepared today that I don't even have it up yet. Now I have to go look at it because I'm all excited.
no.
But we can do two things to start off today's session.
Whoa.
First thing is
It's
a
like we have
recap of what
choices.
happened last session.
No.
Second thing is to talk about what you did as part of your level up.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is to recap. Usually before the game starts, I think, I should probably think about what happened last game, but I didn't this time. Thankfully, not much happened last game because it was all concentrated in one encounter. The encounter started with us being peeping toms on some lady, some half-elf lady who was dipping her feetsies in the water, innocently having a picnic, singing along to herself. And then you guys showed up, interrupted her picnic. How very rude. The encounter went a little bit like, hey, what's up? Nothing much. Just having a picnic. Want to have some of my cake? No, thanks. Okay. And that was it. That's where the game ended.
Who needs to watch the previous episode?
Apart from our players realized that there was something in the water, something mysterious, something shiny, and you know that players be liking shiny things. So had a bit of a poke around, had a look for that shiny object, realized that it was a ring. Upon further inspection, whilst still exchanging some pleasant conversation with the lady dipping her feet in the pool and having a picnic, Randall realized that it was not, as previously thought, a ring stuck on perhaps a root or a fallen branch or whatever. It was, in fact, on a finger of a skeleton. And that skeleton was not alone. There were multiple skeletons. An encounter started because once Randall noticed the ring was on a skeleton, he also realized that three giant crayfish were coming to come and give him a nip, snip, 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 snip.
Snip.
And a fight ensued. It was a very tough fight. It was a very, very tough fight. Probably tougher than it should have been because we had some very poor luck from Oro here, unfortunately. But there was some very clutch.
Very poor luck from everyone involved. Don't
but we had some very clutch moments with some awesome heals, some big damage, and in the end, from the experience, everybody leveled up. You also took a dive into that pool to retrieve the goodies, and in so doing, you found a ring, which you have now realized is a ring of water walking, and a dagger, and a coin purse, or a purse that had some monetary value in it, coins and gems and such. Okay. That was pretty much it. You then finished your journey with a nap on the road.
Very important nap.
Very important nap, where Oro used her watch to do a tarot reading.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
Oro likes to occasionally do some tarot reading. It's a character thing that I won't divulge, just in case it comes up in the story. Something that she wants to reveal herself. A ring of immense irony. Yes.
Yes.
Players worried about DM trap. DM shiny players. Heck yeah, let's get that thing. Players Pikachu shock me. Yeah, we have that. That BTTV emote here. That was made by Jenny. Who's surprised? It's amazing.
I just copied the original photo. Don't give me that much credit.
It doesn't work for me. It just says Pikachu shop.
You don't have
Because-
BTTV.
Oh no, I don't have that. No,
Oh,
I forgot I
BTTV is
don't have that.
amazing, man.
Is
It makes
it?
everything so
Yeah,
good.
so many emotes.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, there are emotes, but also the thing I like to do is to turn it on so that every time someone's message is deleted, you can still see the message, because I'm in a lot of chats where people's messages get deleted and I'm really curious.
Yeah, me too. I do that too.
I'm just like, I want to know.
Yeah, why did they get banned? What did they do?
To be fair, there's a lot of good options for it, but
Mm.
we're not here to promo BTTV. Would you like to discuss what cards you pulled from your deck? The reading.
Yes, just let me open Discord because I
I
have
was going to say,
forgotten.
if you want to just read out what you've got in the RP chat, you're more than welcome to.
God, I read a lot of shit. Oh, fuck. Oro got Queen of Wands reversed, Six of Pentacles and Knight of Cups, and it meant a bunch of things. You can go in the Discord shit. I won't read it all because it's a lot of...
I'll summarize it for you.
Yeah,
if
go
you
on,
like.
summarize it.
So Oro was after a very trying, difficult fight, she was trying to figure out. She was very frustrated. She was trying to figure out what her next steps were, like what she could do to improve. And she pulled these. She thought upon that, pulled some cards from her tarot deck. She got the Queen of Wands reversed, the Six of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. And she leafed through her notebook, finding that the overall kind of gist was to talk about a pessimism and a lack of confidence, that she should focus on rebuilding a sense of self and her resilience, prosperity, sharing and giving fairly, and asking for what you need and deserve. She said, well, I need to hit things, please. And then learning to master and express feelings, to work together to achieve harmony. And after coming to these realizations, having these insights into herself, she kind of relaxed, felt that was something that she needed to hear. And thankfully, that was also the time that we could talk about level ups, because everyone leveled up at the end of that encounter, and our characters have now got new feats, or they've spent their points on abilities. So why don't we discuss a little bit about what you did with your levels, and whether or not is it a character thing? Do you have a justification or a rationale for it, or is it just something you like for your character? Ouroboros Sync. I'll tell you how to level up in this game. Bribe your DM with pizza. No pineapple. This is important. Pineapple may cause Cthulhu summons. I like pineapple on pizza.
See, I was going to say, like, I'm pretty sure pineapple on pizza would be successful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that would be
all of any opinion on pizza from somebody who lives in the UK is null and void, because you put
Wow.
tuna fish on your pizza. And
Not
that's
everybody,
okay.
just me.
Yeah.
Not every
But it
pizza.
is an option that you can get at a store. You didn't have to buy a can of tuna and put it on there.
I mean,
you can buy it made,
only
so it's
one
not
place.
just you.
Only one place does tuna.
That's enough.
And it's Papa
That's
John's,
enough.
but not very many people go to. Anyway, I've never had tuna on pizza and never will. Trust me, man, it's good. I like tuna on pizza.
Is tuna on
Thank
pizza
you,
like-
fool.
Is
Sorry,
it
what?
more controversial than pineapple
Apparently so,
pizza?
because people will not shut the fuck up about it. You go to Tessa's stream and you talk about tuna on pizza, they get very upset. When Tess was here, we ordered pizza and I had tuna and pineapple on my pizza, and I made her try
God.
it. I made her try it, and she thought it was okay. I really liked it. She thought it was okay. What's to complain about, right? Jesus.
That sounds to me like when you show something to your partner and you're like, this is a thing that I love. Do you like it? And they're like, it's okay.
No,
that sounds like
I was under the impression that she was going to hate it, and she was like, I'm going to be, she was honest with me. At least that's what
Norwegian
my belief.
honest.
My belief is that she was honest with me. Clearly, she was just being like, Carl, don't come in here like that. If someone came to me with tuna and pineapple pizza, I'd never be their friend anymore. Wow, hurtful words. We've got a minus inspiration for this chat there. Anyway, so please, players, divulge your level ups and what you did with them. Let's start with the person who most recently did their feats.
So is that?
Randall. What did Randall get?
So Randall, other than the boring HP stuff, he got slow fall for being a level 4 monk, which lets him take away 4 times his monk level from fall damage. Which means I can fall from small heights and not take death.
Does that mean that if you minus a certain amount and you take, you could possibly get like health back from falling?
I mean, now that the DM said it must be canon. Therefore, I will constantly jump off short things and gain all my health back.
So did you get a feat?
Yes, I also got the Charger feat, which lets me use a dash action, which for me is really far. It's like 50 feet because it's your whole move again, right?
Yes, it's double your movement.
It's not double your movement, right? It's like you can use your movement again. Otherwise,
dash action is double your movement.
Really? Because that's 100.
So what happens is your movement is a part of your turn, and then you can use your action on your turn to dash.
Yeah, so it adds your movement again. It doesn't double it.
Well, I mean, when you add your movement twice, you're doubling it.
Yeah, does that?
What I mean is you can't move.
Is that not exactly the same?
No, it's not, because you can't move and then use another double. The overall effect is double, but it's only adding one lot of your speed.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure.
That's like, well, otherwise it would be 150 feet, and that seems a little ridiculous.
You could spend a key point and move 150 feet, right? Because you can do that as a bonus action. I think that you can. Monks get zoomy.
As a bonus action, dash it gets slightly confusing. Oh, great.
But then I can't do the other part of charge anyway, which is you can then spend a bonus action to make a melee attack.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, shove someone and try and push them.
Remember, you have to have a surface to be next to. What? What is that? What? Remember, you have to have a surface to be next to. A surface. What? When dash, What? When dash? Did you write this?
Oh yeah, you can't just use slow. You can't just use slow fall if you're falling from the sky. You need to, you're falling like down a cliff. You're like scrabbling down it rather than.
You're using a surface to slow your fall.
It's not magic.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I don't think that people read that far into it, because I know people who have played entire campaigns with monks where they figured they could just like not fall like normal people, and it seemed weird to me, but what do I know? I don't play monks that often.
No, it's because they have big robes, so they can just hold out their robes and fall and fly like those flying squirrels.
Falling with style.
But I mean, if there's like a tree there, it can slow fall into the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure. So you can use a bonus action to make one melee attack or shove an enemy.
Yep.
When dashing.
Plus 5 damage to the attack as well. If I do the attack.
Or you can push them 10 feet.
Yeah. So you can't shove and attack, you shove or attack.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon would like to have a word. Oh, man. Okay. Right. Cool. So Randall can now just fall out the sky and take no damage.
Yep.
No need for
Cannon.
a wall or anything.
Rules as written.
And gets health back when he lands. And he got the charge feat.
Someone
so
clip that.
when he
please.
when he
Refer to this in the
dashes,
future.
he can also use a bonus action to make a melee attack or to shove an enemy. Man, that is fucking good for a monk, isn't it? Jesus, you're a movie boy. Okay, and you've got some health. So what's your health pool now?
A whopping 25.
Oh boy!
Ooh.
Just
That's
you
it.
wait until we get to Oro and Nugget.
I took the base instead of rolling because I'm not insane.
Yeah, I think
same.
that's fair. Yeah.
I've never
Well,
rolled for help. I can't handle it.
How about Oro? How about you give us some info on what we did for your level?
I mean, honestly, I didn't get much other than I picked feet. That was about it.
Okay. Do you think your feat ties into your tarot reading?
Yes, that is why I picked it and did a tarot reading.
Ooh.
What feat did you pick?
I picked the lucky feat, which means like 3 luck points a day and could re-roll shit when shit goes wrong. Thought
Yes,
that was
you
pretty
can.
appropriate
Very
for
good
Oro.
Is lucky the one where you can re-roll attacks made against you as well?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yep. You can make other people
Literally
unlucky.
the most amazing feat in the
It's
game.
so good.
It's so good.
I was tempted to get it again. I was like, I had it on Dane before.
It's also just it ties in so perfectly with the session that Oro
Yeah.
had last game. Just
was a
feeling really
bad
rubbish.
day.
And then you
Yeah.
had that perfect tarot reading that kind of all brought it together. It was beautiful.
And by the way, that tarot reading was a legit tarot reading I did. It wasn't like I looked through the cards and picked ones that were appropriate. It was a legit card read that I did, and I was like, it's perfect!
Oh.
Very happy with that. Additionally, we went through so we're using the revised Ranger rules. We've made a couple of small adjustments just to make sure everything's up to code. But so when we're leveling Nugget, because Nugget's not one of the the default recommended creatures. So I had to do some fucking mental arithmetic, like acrobatics shit going on. So he starts off with 4d10 hit dice, and obviously Oro was level 3 at the time, so she only had 3 hit dice, but had 22 hit points. So usually players, when they take the average, they get the average number plus 1. So if you had a d10, you would have 6 health as your average if you leveled up. But Oro also, because when you get the ability point increase, your companion gets it as well. So Jenny increased Nugget's constitution to be +1. So every level, Nugget should get +7 health because it is 1d10. If we use the player rules, then it's the average +1. I'm expecting Adam to come here and correct me at some point, which is why I'm reading out like this.
Well, it's not.
Plus an additional 1 for the Constitution, so it'd be 7 health every level. But
It's not real rules, though.
Nugget is
It's whatever you
has-
want it to be.
4 hit dice at default level,
It's,
and then
it's
plus
just
1
the
hit
average
dice.
of the die roll plus your con. It's not the average +1.
Well, if you look at the the player characters and stuff, it's always
It's like -5, but my hit die is D8.
Yeah, because what it does is it's not saying the average of the number on the die. It's saying the average roll. So they rolled X number of times and they took an average, and it's like for a D8 it's 4.5, and for a D10 it's 5.5, and so you round up, and so it's the average is 5 and the average is 6.
So what you're saying, Tom, is that Nugget will eventually have more health in the party. Nugget literally has 35 hit points right now.
Oh my god. My little sorcerer could only dream. I won't have that for the next 3 levels, probably.
Yeah, no, Nugget's a tanky bat.
We found our actual tank. Not that you're not a great tank, Dane, but we can just put Nugget in front and you can run around and hit things and not have to worry about dying now.
Dane was last campaign, neurally. Or should I say Hyacinth?
Hey, I did a great job tanking. I didn't take damage well. It's just that I didn't take damage a lot. I did take it, it didn't go over very well. But...
I actually have 26 hit points now, not 25, because I've got my Constitution.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm the beefy boy.
Wait, did you level up your Constitution?
No, I forgot to add the +1 for my constitution.
Oh, to this levels. Okay. Okay. Well, how about Nurli? Why don't you give us a little info about what you did for your level up?
So I mechanically, Katie hates odd numbers. It's so stupid. They don't mean anything. So I really like having even numbers, which is why I like the point by. But I had an odd number in my charisma, and I was like, it would make a lot of sense if she was just like learning a lot about social interaction, and if I could go find a feat that gives me a +1, gives me an even number that pleases Katie, and also gives me some other benefits, that'd be really cool. But there's not anything of substance. There's the active feat, and that's it. So I just went with a +2 to charisma because I feel like she's learning a lot about how to talk to people the wrong way, but that will eventually lead to learning how to talk to them the right way. So that's what we're hoping for. And I didn't really get a lot else for the level. I did get to pick some more spells. So definitely, she's been thinking about this for quite some time now. Took Prestidigitation.
Oh, really?
Because I'm so tired of being covered in dirty stuff, or being like soaking wet with gross like corpse water and all that stuff. So got some Prestidigitation, and then I also took I realized that I've got like a good smattering of like spells that are offensive and some that are defensive, and then I can like help heal people. But I didn't really have like a lot that really mitigates people wanting to attack me, so I took Mirror Image because I thought that'll be a nice little
it is nice. Yeah.
Please don't hit me. There's 4 of me. Just go play with them, please.
I've also just realized something. So Solomon said 13 AC, that's not so good. And that's brought my attention to the fact that I read something else that I'd forgotten to put into effect. For animal companions, proficiency bonuses are applied to armor class, skills, saving throws, attack bonuses, and damage rolls. So Nugget gets proficiency bonus on top of armor class, so actually has 15 AC, not 13.
Okay.
So I'll put that in for you now. Yeah.
Okay. I remember reading that and thinking, shit, have I done it for everything? And not knowing.
Yeah,
this is my problem, is that Roll20 needs some kind of like, here's what you've done to this character. Here's what's base that we've given it.
Would be really nice. History would be really nice. Okay. So your AC and health is lower than Nugget's. Listen, Nugget's got a bite attack.
Yeah.
that's what Nugget can do. Nugget can tank, fly, and roll over for tummy pets.
For treats. There's a reason why there's a common trope for like magic users of the glass cannon.
Yes, that would good.
Be a very classic glass cannon.
Yeah.
But it does feel Bard Man, because Bards are really good and have better AC and better spells sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
When is a Bard not better? That's the question.
The answer to that is that they're always better. So
somehow I thought you might say that. Okay. Let us begin the session. Today's session begins with you guys walking down a path into Miller's Bluff. Miller's Bluff is I think we are all on the same page here. Yes, we are. I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Is this lovely little kind of hamlet? I guess it's not really a village, it's more of a hamlet.
Where nothing can go wrong.
Lovely little hamlet.
They changed the zoom, or am I going
They
crazy?
have.
They have. Yeah, I'm happy with it though. I like it.
Mad.
Imagine having a plus and a minus that you can click on.
It's crazy.
But yes, no, it's a nice little hamlet. The trickling waterfall kind of not trickling. It's audible, not trickling. It's not thundering.
Somewhere between trickling and thundering.
It's
Is there a mist from the water?
There is a mist that kind of permeates at least the north area here. As the largest of the waterfalls is the furthest north, and they get kind of. They all have largely the same current, but you can see that some of the rock formations break it up a little bit. And the river flows through some mills that you can see and hear churning away. There are the joke that we made last time, I'm going to make again. Several people milling about.
That's so funny. How could you think of that?
Going about their day. We are arriving. I can't remember when we said it. We said a full day, a day and a half, about midday.
Where are we? At the top of it, right? On the little path?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, well, keep on moving down the path, I guess. So...
Okay. So as you're walking south, starting up here, walking down here into the hamlet, you see the sign for this building to your left, which I will ping to be just here. It has a sign on the side, and it says the Shy Falls Tavern. To the south, even further, directly in front of you, you can see that there is a kind of a small crane and a large warehouse kind of looking building. And even further than that, there is one of the mills.
Where is it? Where did you say here? That's
so this is the Shy Falls Tavern. This building here.
I don't see
I can't
wherever
see
you're
your
doing
ping.
that.
Are you pinging in black on
Oh
black?
no, I'm pinging on the GM layer. Somehow that doesn't.
I was wondering. I'm like,
I don't know why that. Like, in what world would I ever want to ping on a
If
GM
you've got
layer?
more than one GM, you
Anyway.
want to ping your dastardly plans to each other.
Okay, this is the Shy Falls Tavern. To the south of you, here is a crane and a large warehouse-looking building, and even further south, you can see one of the mills, a small bridge that leads over to the center of the hamlet. You can see that the road that you were on into Miller's Bluff also does continue further south to the kind of the outskirts of the hamlet. This is a one of the few kind of open areas. You can see that a lot of the wood and the forest around here has been cut down, but not to an extreme extent. It looks like it's more like it's been kind of trimmed away, so that there's plenty of space for the hamlet.
So we see an inn and we see a couple of other buildings, but we don't see anything that looks like this is where the mayor lives and this is where people who know what bad stuff's going on would be staying, so that we could go ask them about it. Like, there's just an inn and some like.
I mean, there's no one stood there with a question mark floating above their head.
Like, asking
No,
about
but,
bad
like,
stuff.
There's always like the one house that's bigger than the rest of them, or the one that has like a guard out front or whatever.
Okay.
But we just see like a bunch of normal houses and an inn.
There's nothing immediately stands out. I mean, you've got the inn, which is the largest of the buildings here, apart from maybe the western of the mills. You can see that there is another mill across the road, and there's one a smaller one to the across the road, across the river. There's another one to the south of that. But the most of them, they look like small houses.
Probably start the inn, or have a wander around first, see if there's anything that catches our
eye. I think that they were worried about things traveling between the two cities, but there shouldn't be anything wrong with the city itself, right? Or town, hamlet, village?
Well, they weren't getting the supplies through, so they didn't even know if they were leaving them, right?
Oh, that's true. I guess there could be something wrong. We should be careful.
Nothing stands out in your character's minimap. Shit.
What is our course of action, party? That was it. We're going to party. That's our course of action.
Everyone's
I'm a party.
You should see the Bats dance moves. It's really quite funny.
Well, now that Randall has suggested that we need to like be careful because we don't really know what's going on, I'm just kind of like waiting to see what he does, because clearly I was under the Nerly was under the impression that everything in the town was fine, and we were just checking on what was going on between the two. So, he's clearly thought of something that I did not.
That's a man with a plan, that face.
I think we should go to the inn because it feels like in this kind of place, that's going to be the go-to place for everyone.
Okay. Well, it's pretty much directly in front of you, so you can walk up to the front door and you can see that it is already open. It is quiet inside.
Eerily quiet?
Eerily
Oh.
quiet. Yes. Both saying the exact same word at the
That
same
was
time.
eerie.
Oh my god.
Oh, jinx.
That in itself was eerie. Yeah, so I mean, you can kind of peeking inside the front door, you can see that there is nobody to be seen.
Nobody. Not even like a barkeep or anything.
If you step inside, you can see. Let's reveal this area.
Feel it. Me.
Also, there's a toilet.
Oh,
You can see slightly to the right of the entrance.
right.
A
From
toilet.
inside, there's some interdimensional weirdness going on here. I can see the toilet.
Either way, is there a dinosaur? Torty, what?
Wait, they have indoor plumbing?
I didn't.
Or do you mean a room with like a bathtub?
I think it's
There
just
is a room with
outside.
a outhouse. There is an outhouse
There's
to the
a
south of
pipe
the
here.
a separate building here.
Oh, I see.
I've added some details to the map.
Is that poop going out into the river?
Oh no.
Oh, it's gone over the walls.
Oh my
Oh,
we
god!
find out the whole town died of dysentery. Don't say anything.
So walking in and taking a step inside, you can see that the entirety of the tavern is dead quiet. There is nobody in here, apart from one person who is stood behind the bar. It is an elderly gentleman. His skin kind of leathery and wrinkled. His hair is pulled taut in a kind of a ponytail. And his beard is long and unkempt. He is stood behind the bar, cleaning a glass methodically. Is that Tortu? Is that double goblin?
Tortu.
Wait,
Yeah,
you could
thing.
double goblin?
Yeah, if you get more double goblin or more, you get to either add something to your goblin or change whatever you had previously.
Oh, but I didn't know that.
I've
I've been not saving up for a second goblin.
been wasting my points.
have
It's triple fucking what?
It's triple. For fuck's sake, how am I supposed to keep up with this? Do you
Oh my goodness.
have you
You're
thought
gonna
about
have
what
to
you want?
increase the points.
At some point, there's going to be a cap for how many.
50,000 50,000 points.
And then
You
you
are
get to be a
allowed
gold
5
goblin.
Goldblin.
Leader of
Goblin.
the. I have 5 in the bank.
Just
What?
waiting to redeem that goblin money.
Waiting for the goblin market to crash. Buy up all the goblins.
100 for a goblin, please. Someone take them. I've got too many.
Now's the time to invest in goblins before the
The big goblin crash is on the horizon. Guys. Time to get out of the
That's
goblins.
what I think.
No. If the crash is on the horizon, you don't want to invest in it now. You want to invest in it after it crashes because then it will rise again. You'll make money. Duh.
It's not
Tortu,
gonna rise again though. It's
You
forever.
buy high and sell low.
let me know
Nobody
if you want
listen to
something
this
on your
financial
goblin.
advice.
All right. Anyway, this gentleman is behind the bar cleaning a glass. I'm cleaning a glass. This is me
So-
cleaning a glass.
I don't believe it. Why would you clean it with his other hand? That's just.
What?
You,
He's holding a glass here, and he's got a towel here. And he's wiping
yeah,
it.
why? Yeah, I'm saying he's cleaning it with his hand. Why would he do that?
Oh, he's got a cloth.
I'm not immersed. Where's the cloth?
Where's the glass?
I'm not immersed.
Okay, wait.
What have you done?
You've done it. It's gonna happen.
Oh,
it's gonna
shit, he's-
happen.
I have to try and figure out what I can use to clean this.
You should have props by you all the time.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Can you hear that? Can you hear
Yeah.
the sound of that?
Yeah.
Why is
the
it making that
outside-
noise?
That's because the outside is not like perfectly smooth. It's got.
Oh gotcha.
It's clever, man.
Ugh.
That seems like it would be
that
more
better? Let's
realistic,
just do this.
honestly.
hear it shredding the cloth. Not a blanket, it's me dressing gown.
Which is a glorified blanket.
It's a blanket with armholes.
It's got armholes.
So it's a snuggie.
And a tie.
And sometimes a hood.
Hood?
A hood.
Who'd have thought it?
Did you go all the way in, Randall, or are you kind of standing in the doorway?
I'm going to go all the way in. Hi.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Randall.
Hey. He's at the bar. He turns around and says, "Hello. Come in."
Right, go in.
How can I help you?
Oh, we've just travelled down from Nesmith. They're worried. There didn't seem to be getting many people come up.
What do you mean?
Does he sound like weirdly robotic like that?
Yeah,
There is something slightly off about him.
I would like to do some kind of check.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be insight because I'm not really like. It's less of like I think he's lying and more of like a can I tell what's going on with him? Is this
Party gets 2 insight checks. Choose your insiders.
Done. I failed it miserably.
Don't know if I let me go look. Where is my even thing? I don't even know where it's at.
I have +4. What do you have?
I
Only
had
+2.
+5. It
You
didn't
go.
really do
+2,
anything.
okay.
I'm a charisma based class.
Shit.
I mean, something seems a little bit off about the way that he is talking, but it's entirely possible that he's just a bit strange.
That's fair.
Is there a dinosaur? No, I'm not saying.
There were people like outside.
Is there a dinosaur? Just... You were saying, sorry, Docs, I interrupted you.
There were people like outside, right?
Yes,
Milling about.
further down the village, yeah. Well, Hamlet.
Does it get busy in here? When do people normally show up?
Business is good. He smiles at you.
Are we trying to find the mayor? Should we try and...
Yeah. Who is there someone who would know about the transport, the shipping up to Nesmith we could speak to?
We do not have a mayor. We are only a small hamlet.
Okay, but surely there's someone who's like responsible for that trade, sending the materials.
Individuals may be people who manage their own trade, perhaps.
Fair enough. Are they in the mills? Is that where we'll find them?
Perhaps the people who run the mills, yes.
But you're not sure.
I am an innkeep.
Have you
Yeah,
had no trouble with your stuff being delivered, your trade thing?
I am an innkeep.
We've reached the end of the lines of the
Yeah,
NPC.
at this point, I
character.
really want to ask a question that doesn't make sense, but I can't think of one. Like one of those sentences where it sounds like a sentence or a question, but it's just.
What do you have
Buffalo,
to drink?
buffalo.
Yeah.
I will get you a drink. And he turns around and he goes into another room.
I look at his legs as he leaves.
Is he a dinosaur from the waist down?
Is it scaly?
Can I
He
try
looks
to
completely normal.
see if he is an illusion? Like a programmed illusion?
Sure, give me a perception check.
And Fuel redeemed a D6 bonus and said, I still think Randall needs help.
Wow.
Thank you.
Randall always needs help with things, but still.
Oh wow, awesome. That's even one of the things that I'm good at. And that's yeah.
Can't wait for today's session.
Remember
We rolled high at the beginning of the last session.
Yeah, remember last session?
Speak for yourself. I'm pretty sure that I've been rolling low this whole time. I'm kidding.
Of all the people. I mean, nothing untoward about his appearance that you can see. He returns with a glass that's full of some kind of liquid. It looks like it's an ale.
Like piss.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink that. Don't drink that.
It's cold,
Don't
and it
get-
does not smell of piss.
It's cold piss. Hmm. Is there...
You can see that there are like kegs along the wall behind him.
Can I want to take one of the darts out of my backpack, or my back.
Mhm.
I don't know. I assume it's like a wooden counter.
Yep,
I just want to stab one into it,
you do that.
and he does nothing.
He looks down at it. Are you okay?
Yes.
So what's your name?
My name is Yanis. You may call me Yanis Yellowfoot.
We'll use something longer. Good.
I am the innkeep.
How long have
I
you
am
been in
very
the
happy
innkeep for?
here. As long as I can remember.
How long's that?
Many years. I am old.
How do you... How... My immersion. It's ruined.
He doesn't start laughing.
Oh, he just goes behind the counter and just starts laughing. Back up.
He goes back up, please reverse.
How do you feel about your counter?
I am curious as to why your dart is in it.
Not angry. Don't care.
You can see that the counter is not in the best shape.
No.
It's not like you go into a Weatherspoons and it's like a plank of wood that has not been looked after especially well.
But I feel like most people would be like, what the fuck?
I mean, he was visibly at least a little bit confused.
I don't think it's real. Well, maybe we should go talk to some other people.
Can I get anything for you? Do you need a place to stay?
No, we should be fine. Thank you, though.
Are you making a short trip?
Don't know. Guess it depends.
Depends how long it takes us to sort out our business.
Well, if you need anything, I will give you a discounted rate as newcomers.
Thank you.
That's awfully kind.
You're very welcome.
I take my dart out of his thing.
Do you need any supplies?
No.
Okay.
What supplies do you have?
He turns to his side and he looks like he's thinking. We have rations.
Oh, we're good. Yeah. Thank you. See you around.
Okay.
It's like awkwardly back out.
Bye. Aura waves, see if he waves back. Okay, let's go. What the fuck was going on with that guy? Katie's here now.
I know sometimes I'm a little different than other people. He seemed really different than other people.
I
Didn't even notice that was there.
No, yeah, that was really weird.
I hope no one else is like that.
Hmm.
I'm very suspicious. He barely reacted to me like attacking his stuff.
Yeah, that was weird. But I see why you did it, I think.
As we leave, a teeny tiny roar can be heard.
They were all like, well, I guess we'll go see if we can talk to someone else.
Maybe one of the Millers?
Yeah.
Didn't know you were on a name basis with him.
God damn.
I'll see myself out.
Let's go south then.
Okay. Well, stepping outside, you can see a little bit more of the village. Again, you've got the mill to the south and a big old warehouse. As you're stepping out, so you can see that there is somebody who's just stood out of the warehouse and is carrying a large barrel. They are walking to the south, making towards the bridge. You can see there are a couple of other people across the river, walking between houses, going about their day.
Can I, like, while we're walking south, I just want to try and keep an eye on some of them and see if they're like moving in like loops, or whether they're actually doing useful things, or like the person carrying a barrel, are they actually moving the barrel, or they're just walking up and down with it?
Give me a perception check.
I will certainly fail that roll for you.
So far today we've got a 9, 11, 6, 10 and 12. We are not deviating very far from
Come on, everything under 15.
We're gonna somehow like a TPK today, like doing mundane things.
The person that you are, I mean, you find it hard to notice anything in particular that stands out about anything apart from the person directly in front of you who's holding the keg leaving the storage facility, who seems to be carrying quite a heavy keg because they seem to be struggling with it a little bit. So it's not like it's an empty barrel.
Right. Is Nugget with us, by the way?
Yeah.
I was assuming that Nugget stayed outside, but is with you, yeah. From
Any-
now on, I'm going to assume that Nugget is not inside buildings with you unless you specifically say, or you're at home.
Is anyone reacting to a giant bat plodding around?
Nobody that you've... I mean, you're still pretty much at the entrance of the village.
Yeah, but it's a giant bat.
There is a giant bat. Bear in mind, this giant bat is around horse size. This, I mean,
I think it's pretty distinguishable.
They're a chunky boy, but or chunky person, chunky creature,
chunky bat.
But you haven't really drawn the attention of anybody yet, so it's hard to say.
This is going to be my test as to whether these people are real or not. If no one reacts to the giant bat, they're all fake.
So you're walking further down into the hamlet.
Yeah, I'm looking out for seeing.
No one bats an eyelid. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, I was wondering if that was Jenny things. No. Either way, very good. I would have been extra surprised if it was came out Jenny.
I would never.
So you're going to make your way south into the hamlet.
Tortu redeemed D6 bonus and said, "This is for Tom so he can kill Nugget." Smiley face.
Wow.
Tortu! Oh my god.
Excuse
I thought we were all friends here.
Taking away your goblins.
I would never.
Did you just wink or did you just look?
Yeah. Have a smoke.
What do you think? I just went up to the camera.
Like you didn't.
I could see you in there.
I tried to wink.
Wink wonk.
Wink wonk.
See, that would be something that would make me think that that's not Tortu.
Yeah. Sure.
Because that's very.
I can't believe Tortu said such a thing. What the fuck? I could take away your goblins, by the way, Tortu.
If Nugget dies, the goblins die.
So are we walking into the hamlet proper now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, as you get closer to, you walk down to the storage building and past it, you can see that the door is slightly ajar, left open by the person who was walking down to the bridge. But as you get down to the mill, the person is about halfway across the bridge with the barrel. You can see that now they're really struggling with it, to the degree where they start to waver slightly. Like the bridge has small kind of rope handrails.
Are we in like shouting distance?
Yes.
Do you need a hand with that barrel? Barrel
They don't
person.
seem to notice that you're shouting.
Sorry,
Barrel
I
man.
I don't know your name, barrel person.
They don't respond.
They're fake. Not real people.
Everyone's fake.
Barrel man, barrel man.
Falls off the precarious bridge.
Gets taken away
Wheelie sink.
by the
wheelie
doctor. Simulations gone wrong.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't help him with the barrel. If you want to help him, you can
Well,
help him. But I can't help.
Like, it's just ignoring me, so I'm not going to help.
Okay.
You can see that they start to teeter slightly towards the rope.
Okay, well, I'm going to shimmy on over there.
Oh no.
At this point, the individual is now holding the barrel back against the ropes for the handrail, and you can see that it's now starting to get very taut.
Okay, well, I'm going to run over there with all of my move speed.
So you mean you teleport?
Yes, I teleport 150 feet.
Okay, well, very, very quickly you're up right next to this individual.
Well, I'm going to try and help them with the barrels.
Okay.
So
So you can see that this is a kind of a teenage human male.
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
can't be a dinosaur because otherwise they wouldn't have any problem lifting this.
True.
Lifting things. Everyone knows about
Dinosaurs are
ability to
strong.
lift things. You can see that his like hair and his clothing are kind of dirty and matted and not well looked after. Give me a perception check.
It's a funny way of grabbing a barrel, but sure.
Ooh, really good
Oh,
roll for that.
finally.
Ooh.
So you get up close and you grab the barrel, but as you do so, you kind of get a chance to. You're right up in his face, so it's very easy to get kind of a better measure of him. And you can see that there is a weird, kind of a glossy, kind of milky white cover over his eyes. And you also see that he has a rash that's quite bad on his neck.
Rash. But you're right.
Yes. Thank you. This is heavy.
I can see that. You don't look well.
No, I am not well.
What happened? How are you not well?
I am tired.
Is anyone else unwell?
I don't know, but I am unwell. I can lift this from now. Thank you very much. Are you new to the village?
Yeah, we've just arrived. Can I try and while I'm talking, try and get a closer look at the rash on his neck?
Give me a
See if-
perception check.
Maybe.
It's actually 5 kobolds in a trench coat and not a human as well. So it's hard to see. He's kind of got quite long hair, and as you lift him up to pull him off of the ropes, it kind of falls back in place over the rash somewhat.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Are you talking to the watermill? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? We're talking to the windmill. The windmill's sick.
Yeah. It's disgusting. See its history.
It's not a mill, it's a well. Just kidding.
Yeah.
How far? So he ran off to do this. So we're kind of far. We're like.
I mean, you're not super
something.
far away. Yeah, I mean, you're about maybe you're on the edge of the bridge, and they're halfway down the bridge. That's maybe 30 feet or so.
Okay.
You can easily catch up.
I don't know if I want to catch up. I'm just watching, like there's something weird going on, but I don't know if it's just that I'm not used to the way that these towns work and people interact really awkwardly, or what it is. So I'm just watching to see if there's anything that I can put together to think of to might give a cause for this.
Sure.
oh, this one time we found these mushrooms and we thought that they'd be good for a stew, but everyone got a little loopy, or whatever, like something that looks like symptoms
But
that
everyone
could
had a
cause
great
this.
time.
Sure. Okay. So how about Oro? What's Oro doing?
Well, because Ora doesn't know about the rash or anything, so she's probably just concerned about whether he would fall off the bridge or not. Not thinking about it too much.
Sure. Okay. Nugget takes this moment to stand in front of the bridge, or stand in front of the entryway to the bridge, and roll over on their back.
Excellent timing as always.
It's good to speak with
You
you.
can see that if rolls away and rolls aside.
We've got to be on guard.
It's
important. Is everything okay, Randall?
Yeah, this gentleman's not well.
Thank you for your help. I must be on my way. He starts to walk across the
Okay,
bridge.
take care.
Where are you going?
I mean, at this stage, you're shouting, but he doesn't seem to pay any heed.
Where did he come out from?
He came from the storage warehouse, this
Okay.
building over here,
Where did he go?
across the bridge.
Is his name Joe?
Is he carrying a barrel of cotton eyes?
No.
Oh, that's the affiliate thing he's got though. He's got cotton eye. That's why they're white and milky.
Oh my god. This all so nearly came into place. Oh, Jesus.
Did he close the door to the storage place?
No, it is still ajar.
So Randall's on the other side of the bridge. This guy's
Nugget's in the way.
walking away. Nuggets in the
I
way.
told Nugget to get up though, is important.
Nugget's still there.
I want to kind of like lean down to Oro and say, do you think it would hurt anything if we just kind of peeked inside?
Probably not. Just say
That's
we were
not
looking
normal,
for someone.
right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Nugget, for the love of God, get up.
I'm gonna head back over to these guys.
Okay.
Be like, did you see? You didn't see his eyes, right?
No, what's wrong
They're
with
like,
him?
I think he's got cotton eye.
He's got an eye.
It's like where your eyes go like milky. He had like a weird rash, but I didn't get a good look at it. But he definitely had a rash.
Mm.
He said he was tired and not feeling well.
Mm.
The rash look like?
I didn't get a good look at it. It just sort of was like a bit of a rash.
What color was it?
What colour was it? Was it a red rash? I'm assuming
It was red, yeah. It looks like perhaps there was something underlying, but he'd been scratching at it.
it looked like someone had been scratching loads on the side of his neck.
Can I think of any illnesses that cause you to have like cottony or cataracty eyes and an itchy skin?
Give me a medicine check.
That makes my eyes feel funny.
18.
Well,
That's
maybe
a
you're going down
great-
with the cotton eye.
Great roll. So, I mean, there are a couple of conditions that you've heard of that have symptoms that might, I mean, for example, kind of placid behavior, rashes, scratching, maybe cotton eye, that kind of thing. None of them really overlap.
Well, it's nothing I've ever heard of. I think we should go look inside that building.
Well, we need to find someone who knows about the trade.
Well, that was a person carrying a barrel out of a warehouse, and they couldn't even really respond properly to your questions. So I'm seriously beginning to doubt the ability of anyone here to answer questions about why things might not be delivered. But you can go talk to someone else, and I'll catch up.
I meant in there. There might be other people in the warehouse.
Right, I was just thinking of walking by and kind of glancing in through the doorway at first. It's open.
Yeah.
If they were worried about people seeing inside, they would close the door, right?
If they didn't want people breaking in, they'd close the door.
Not breaking in if the door's open and
Genuinely
you're just standing
curious.
outside looking in.
What's Neurali's alignment?
I think it's like I put good, but I didn't put which type of good. I think I did this because I couldn't decide whether it would technically be chaotic or neutral.
Okay.
Because based on like her upbringing, I don't know, and neutral is like so ambiguous to me anyway. Like neutral seems so self-serving, and she doesn't seem self-serving, but I could see how she would seem neutral to the world based on like this stuff just kind of being slightly strange to her, if that makes sense.
Will
So,
that
like,
not fit something closer to lawful good? It's just that the concept of the lawful good that she is following is not necessarily like, you know, an organized government or something.
I think there was a point in which she would have definitely considered herself lawful good, but I think that time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's more of like well, there are things I didn't know about, and I don't know if everything I thought was true is true. Like, maybe it is wrong to like, well, no, like maybe it is wrong to glance into an open doorway when you're worried about people being hurt because there's something strange going on. Like maybe that is wrong, but maybe it's not. It's hard to say. Like it feels like that would be a good motivation, but you know, like that's why I can't like decide between.
Okay. I mean, it's not
and neutral.
You know, game breaking if you don't have something written down.
I feel like it's neutral at this point, is how like I feel like in regard like from where she came from to not like the place, but like where she was in her life and where she is now in her life and like her perspectives on things. I think it would be neutral right now, and that could probably change at some point, just depending upon like whatever else she learns.
So like neutral good is where you're at for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
because I think if the door were locked and there was a window on it and she was genuinely worried about these people, like she would probably like, well, shouldn't we try to find a way to open it? What if someone's hurt in there? Like, you know.
Sure.
So
the fact that it's locked wouldn't necessarily be a barrier.
Yeah, not if she thought that somebody like inside might like need help, even if there wasn't like a whole lot to go on.
Okay.
You know,
well,
that might be like
how
a lesson
do
for her.
our other characters feel about breaking and entering? Not that you're doing that right now, but I think that's a good question.
Wait, how do we feel about breaking and entering?
I mean, going into a building
Specifically?
that might be private property without permission.
In this situation, then it looks like a warehouse with an open door, and we're trying to find someone. It's not like
it's not like there's a guard outside or
true.
a big sign that says "piss off."
Yeah, and we're not going in to nick something.
Okay, all right.
Unless there's something good.
Unless
it would be the monk that's like, unless there's something good.
Okay.
When Oro was charmed, did her eyes change?
They definitely kind of glazed over, but they didn't go milky white.
Okay, it's like okay, so it looks different.
Yeah. So the door is ajar, and you can see inside.
The important question to ask: how does Nugget feel about borrowing things and returning them? Nugget doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Nugget is similarly aligned as Oro.
Nugget will do anything for Scritchies.
Is it shiny? Want it?
So you can see inside the door. There is some light being cast by kind of windows in the like higher areas of the walls where the ceiling meets it. But there are also torches in the walls that you can see that are unlit. So it's still quite dim in here. Dim to the degree where it's somewhat uncomfortable to be in there, like kind of looking around, but not so dim that you can't see anything. It's the kind of dim where you walk into the room and be like, oh, let's turn some lights on in here, but yet at the same time you'd still be able to kind of function.
Kind of dim that if you have dark vision, you'd be like, this is like home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had really good vision at night. You know, it's kind of normal.
I can't see shit.
Humans.
So everyone else, apart from Randall, you can see. I mean, Randall can see vaguely. Randall would have to come into the room proper to have a good view of what's going on here. This room is definitely some kind of storage room. It's definitely a warehouse. You can see it's quite big, and it is all one big single room. It has some barrels in it. Barrels in it. I'm going to reveal it to you now.
Big reveal.
Whoa.
It is a very big room, and you can see that there is debris on the floor from dust or, kind of remains of what looks like bark and sawdust. That you can see across the floor that looks like there were a lot more barrels in here than there are right now. This is a very kind of bare bones outlook for a warehouse.
Is the floor? You said there's like dust on the floor, or is it dirt?
There's dirt. There's what looks like sawdust, and a little bit of bark.
Where we can tell there were more barrels before, based on the like different levels of like, what's the word? Detritus, like general trash on the ground. Like, is there like a discernible like, this has clearly been like a long time that it was stocked full because the floor looks super gross in these areas, and then this looks like these haven't been gone for very long, or well, I can tell that these were here for a long time, but there's still a pretty thick layer of dust over where they used to be. Like, if we can tell that there used to be more, like, is there a discernible difference between the two areas to say about how long it might have been since they were like all simultaneously?
There's kind of a gradient. You can see that kind of in the center area. There's the dirt has kind of been cleaned by foot traffic. And some of it's harder to kind of spot because of give me a survival check. I would consider this some kind of like tracking.
That's fair.
Situation.
I'm not terrible at that.
Yep, I think that's an understatement.
But I am terrible at rolling.
It's
like looking around
mystery.
And I'm like,
Nerdy finds it difficult to discern any noticeable patterns about any of the kind of tracks, dirt, dust, debris.
Yep, just kind of like walked around, like not walked around because I'm peeking in from outside, but like glanced in, was like, yep, really empty warehouse. This whole place is very weird.
Nugget pushes himself through the door onto the floor and starts sniffing around.
Well, now you've got a reason to go in to get your pet out, your friend out. Friend? Companion?
All of the above. Family. Nugget steals all the barrels out. I'd like to find out if you find a dino. There's a dinosaur on this. God damn it.
I'll let you know.
What was Nugget doing? Just going in and...
Nugget pushed the doors open and just went in and started sniffing around.
I call for Nugget and just... Nugget, come back. Come back.
Nugget looks up and then kind of shuffles back out again.
looks up while they're inside.
Just up at you.
Oh, at me.
Like it's been told off.
Good. But it was like the Nugget smelled something interesting in there.
I mean,
Seems that way.
Do we what? Wait a minute. I may have switched out a spell that might be useful here.
Switched it out or switched it in?
I switched a spell out for another spell, so technically both, depending on which you're looking at.
Which one's the
You
useful
have the
one? The one you switched out or the one you switched in?
No, I got Speak with Animals. I switched
Speak with Animals has been and Speak with Animals is online.
it online.
So I need to decide on a voice for Nugget now.
Yes,
Are we gonna have to canonify a fucking voice for Nugget?
Yep.
It's got to be really high pitch because that's how bats make sense.
Since Nugget is your companion,
Yeah.
you should have some say on what Nugget sounds like, because I think
Scottish.
You want the Scottish Nugget?
Yes.
Scottish.
Okay, that's fine. Very well. Scottish Nugget is Scottish. Look at that happy little face.
The answer was so
Nugget is
fast.
Scottish.
Duh! If I could pick any accent, it's always Scottish. Nugget, what do
That's
you
fair.
smell?
So you're going to cast Speak with Animals?
Yeah.
Okay, please make sure that are you doing a ritual or are you doing it as a spell?
I don't know what the difference is.
So a ritual, you can do it for free. It just takes a lot longer.
Oh,
It takes
no,
about,
it's a
if I
spell.
recall correctly, about 10 minutes or
Oh,
so.
it's a spell.
10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. You can expend a spell charge to cast it.
Yeah.
Pretty much immediately. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Is
Nugget.
this the first time you've spoken to Nugget? Like actually spoken?
Well, yeah.
Or do you want to say that since you swapped it out last night or when you leveled or whatever,
Hmm.
do you want to say that you used it last night to like test it out or?
Yeah, as a ritual. Yeah, go on then. Because I was like, if it takes a spell slot away from me, then no.
we
but
can do it as a ritual. We can say that you've either, then we can kind of say that we can do, if you wanted, maybe in the RP channel or something later, we could do like a first time Oro
conversation.
and
Okay.
first time Oro and Nugget have a chat.
And
It's
if
a lot
it was
less-
the
lot
night
less
before,
pressure.
you would
I don't have to do it on the
spell
spot.
back anyway. Yeah.
Did you say Nugget? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's with a capital N though because it's a name.
Did you say Muck Nugget?
Oh my gosh. McNugget.
Okay, so you cast your spell. What do you say to Nugget?
Nugget, what do you smell?
Well, that's tree stuff.
What do you mean tree stuff?
That's Nugget kind of pushes their way back into the building despite being told to get back in. That's tree stuff.
Okay, for Ben, Nugget is my animal companion who's a giant bat. Just for clarity. Maybe we should make a command for Nugget, just for exclamation.
Does Nugget have a tiny kilt?
Yes, but he only wears it for special occasions.
Only for weddings.
I can knit
For
him one.
weddings. What is Nugget? Flying
I'm gonna
McNugget.
make the nugget command.
I kind of want to get myself a kilt just to say that I've got one. I mean, my Scottish heritage is definitely strong enough for me to have a kilt. I just don't have one.
Oh well, there's your reasoning.
Yeah, I mean,
Do
would I
it.
be
Why haven't you
comfortable
done it?
knowing that my balls are out? Anyway,
But you won't rip those when you squat down. So upside.
Oh, thank you,
true.
Stuart.
Yeah, I do squat down a lot.
It is known. It is known.
All the time.
It is known.
In the 2 weeks that I was in your presence, all it took was once. Like,
Oh, he was holding back
Same.
then.
what'd you say?
He was holding back.
Ah, that's fine.
Oh, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this image for Nugget.
Oh man, everything really does exist on the internet, doesn't it?
Right? Wait, is that a bat butt? That's a bat butt, right? Or is that not a
Oh,
bat butt?
honey,
Is that
that's
a
not a
bat
butt.
dick?
I think that's a bat dick.
I think that's
I was
I
like,
think so.
that doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, it looks like a dick. Okay,
It's an
It's
upside down dick because
it's
it's
definitely a
hanging.
dick.
wow,
And it's got over
that's
its
a bat
face.
dick.
Because it's the
That's-
kilt
That's what I
over
needed
the
to
head.
see.
Bat dick.
Mm.
Everything
Where's
exists
Nath?
already.
They
The bat
feed
dicks
them.
look like that now. Last campaign we had the horse dick complaints. Now,
Oh no!
listen, I didn't do this to us, okay?
Yeah, true. It wasn't our fault this time.
Right, okay. There's a good shop for kilts and stuff in Sterling. Yeah, they're expensive though. Anyway, what's that? That's tree stuff. Bits of tree.
Oh, just bits of trees? Okay.
That's like a bark and tiny bits of tree.
So glad I picked Sky.
It's old.
Old tree.
Old tree.
Is that it? Is that all you get in old tree?
Oh, this is sawdust.
Oh. Okay. Well, don't eat it.
That's kind of tasty.
No, don't eat it.
Too late.
All right.
Okay, so there's old tree stuff in there. Apparently.
What's he just talking about the sawdust?
Old bits of tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe there was firewood in here? Or there was like a tree in here.
I think.
Oro has dark vision, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
You can see on the ground that there is sawdust.
No, there's like
It's-
sawdust everywhere. I think it's just trees that have been cut down and then stored here, I would imagine. Wait, I'm def gonna draw a nugget-shaped bat now?
Oh, do it. That's going to be so
please.
good.
Do bats drink? What, alcohol?
Yes, because bats are hungover all day. Oh, that was very clever. Very clever.
Nice.
This is the rare daytime bat.
Daytime Scottish bat.
we have to, for the sake of playing D&D, remove like
Just nocturnal.
ignore some things. No, nocturnal no longer exists for this bat.
Yeah.
I just realized I was muted. Suspension of disbelief.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah, or the term. Good work, Snorts.
Can I still see the person walking away with the barrel?
If you pop your head back out, or you turn around, rather, if you're not inside, you can see that they're now across the river.
Like
If
over
you
here.
give me a perception check with a very low DC.
Oh god. Good.
How
'cause
You
it rolled very low.
You can see them. Yeah, they're just about to kind of disappear up here.
And that's one of the mills, obviously.
Mhm.
And then there's two other buildings up there. I think we should just follow him.
I mean, where are those other people that were here? They went across the river, right?
Yeah, so for the most part, you can see that they are. There are a couple of individuals, kind of interacting with the mill on the right-hand side to the north and the south. There are a couple of people that you've seen enter the houses as well, but at the moment they seem to be inside.
Sorry, I just messed with the plus and minus thing and it went all weird, and I don't know what the fuck I did. Yeah, I guess we'll follow that dude.
Follow that dude.
Okay. Well, over the bridge you go.
Oh.
It's stable.
I
It's
thought
nice
the
to
bridge-
mention that occasionally. Well, haha.
Did you already say no, it's not, it's a bridge? Because I was gonna say that.
That's what he said.
Dang
Yeah.
it. No, it's not, it's a bridge.
It's
That's a pretty accurate
stable in
rendition.
that it's not going to drop you into the water if you stand over it.
It's a trap. Is
You
there
can
a
see that
shiny
as you
thing on it?
pass through the center, there's a
Count as a trap.
there's a kind of like a bonfire with a couple of benches and makeshift logs that have been designed into chairs. You can see that there are some smaller fires around it. They've got pots on them. And fires are not lit. The bonfire is not lit either. You find, however, as you cross to the other side of the river, that you have lost sight of the individual you were previously pursuing.
I think I would just follow the path, and then like the deliveries would supposedly be coming from the millers anyway, so we probably should speak to them. So looks like all of our answers are pointing us in this direction. All of our answers, all of our questions.
Are we going past the bonfire bit?
Yes, you've just got to the other side of the river, unless you want to stop at the bonfire.
Does it look like it's been recently used? Is it like actively firing?
Give me an investigation check.
If I put my foot in it, does it hurt?
Sorry, what?
If I put my foot in it, does it hurt?
No, it's not. So there are no embers. If you give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
You can help if you'd like.
17.
So, like I said, there's a large bonfire, and there are a few smaller fires around it that have pots on them that look like they may have been used for kind of communal cooking. You can see that there is some food in one of the pots, and it is rotten.
That's suspicious.
It's moldy,
and everything else is like cold.
Yeah.
How does no one need any food anymore? That food's rotten, and these fires don't look like they've been lit for a while.
Everyone's aliens.
Everyone's aliens.
That's it.
Afflicted with something that means they don't eat normally.
Aliens.
Werewolves.
Or they don't eat food.
Alien werewolves. They don't eat
Alien
food.
werewolves.
As you're chatting, someone...
A werewolf attacks.
Odd discussion for some people to be having. Someone steps out of this house here. A very elderly lady.
Oh.
And hobbled as she is, she starts making her way directly towards you.
Like looking at us, heading towards us, or just like...
Head down.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. Okay.
Are her eyes all milky white?
Yes. But to a very mild extent.
Okay. Because I assume she's decently far away at the moment.
Well, you guys, apart from when you were stopping to investigate the bonfire, were pretty much here. She came out the south house, so she's pretty much come out her front door, started walking in your direction. Ari's gone like, "Hey," and she's gone, "Hello, okay," and then continued.
Okay.
She's now trying. She's pretty much in the middle of you as she's trying to pass you now.
Okay.
She does not even for the kind of. I mean, she as she's walking past, she kind of looks up and sees Oro next to Nugget, and goes, and just continues walking.
We need to talk to this lady. As she goes past, I want to look out for a rash on her neck.
Okay, give me a perception check.
I will. And I will.
Old lady, perfect time for a flurry of blows.
Oh,
Dash! Perfect
She's
time
going to attack. Fire at will.
Perfect time to check
What did
out my
Will ever do to you?
charge.
Beat the shit out of this old lady.
Shove her into the river.
Come on, that was a good one. No one heard
I missed it. What did you say?
Sorry.
Fire at Will. I said, what did Will ever do to you?
So you can see that there is a 14 perception. She has a slight reddening to her neck and to her chest area here.
Is there like a common name of endearment for older women, like in society in this area? Like how in some cultures, like every older woman who like you're close with is like an auntie, and you call them auntie or whatever. Do they have like something like that for
That would
grandma?
not, knowing your history, not even remotely something you're aware of.
Okay. And if I did think that was true, it'd probably be wrong. So that's
Old
fair.
frail bones.
Term
Hello,
of endearment.
Sexton.
Hey! Oh, frail bones, talk to me! Normally get killed by a demon's whip thing. Ah!
As she's walking by,
Callback.
oh gosh, I'll go. Before you continue on wherever you're going, unless you're too busy, we've just come down from Nesmith because they thought there might be some trouble. Have you heard of anything strange happening around here?
She kind of turns around to you and says, it looks like she's thinking really hard. No.
Can you tell the truth if that's not the truth? I can't tell if you're confused or if you're fighting something.
She's clearly, the more you talk, the more confused she appears.
I don't know if I have a spell for this. Or if
Fireball.
I just want to. Yeah. Well, we don't have level 3 spells yet, so it's definitely not that one.
Magic missile will do it.
She's an old lady. Sneeze on her.
Oh gosh.
That wasn't the sound of a sneeze, that was the sound of her dying.
Just pull out your massive demon whip.
Or, as I like to call it, the old person be gone.
Old person be gone.
Dead. That's a reference for those of you
It is
who
a
weren't here
reference.
during our last campaign. Unfortunately, an elderly man fell prey
Unfortunately.
to a demon who whipped his head off. That's a W for whipped, but also R for ripped, I suppose.
Yikes. Was I there for that? Wait, when did that happen?
That was when the demons fell from the sky over.
Oh, when the heads fell from the
that was
sky.
when you killed that old man.
It was the old man. It was
was
when
the
the
old
demons
man.
were in perch, and
After
then they were
Christmas.
fighting.
Yeah, after
and then
Christmas. The old man died right after
Old man.
Christmas.
Old
Yeah.
man. That was my Christmas present to you.
And there was
Killing the
no,
old man.
Yep.
and there was
that makes
no
sense.
possible way like you could have done anything about it.
Yes, Adam says, unfortunately, the DM made a situation that happened, which the DM had total control over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It wasn't even like the forward whip of the whip, was it? It was like the back whip.
I can't remember.
I don't think it was. Like
I can't remember what happened yesterday. Go
I don't think he
ahead.
I think he,
specifically
like,
whipped it.
whipped out to like attack him, and it wrapped around his neck is what happened. And, like,
He died. He died
Yeah.
via whip.
Anyway,
He was
Anyway,
introduced and then he died immediately.
Immediately.
This is why whip comes out of the sky. Just like...
smited.
she's back for revenge.
As she starts to look like super confused, then I just ask, are you having trouble thinking? It looks like you might be. It looks
She
like everyone
is
here is.
very visibly having trouble thinking, and she says, "No."
Is no what you want to say?
Yes.
Can
I
you
think-
raise your hand if it is what you want to say?
She looks incredibly confused by everything. I'm going to go now.
No, please.
I mean, she's not walking at an especially
I bet.
difficult to chase pace. Like, it's not difficult for you to catch up with her.
Tell me what you had for breakfast this morning.
Mushrooms.
Oh no.
Alarm bells, alarm bells.
Yeah. They're all high as a kite.
I had mushroom soup.
Where did it come from? Did you make it here?
I made it.
Where did you get the mushrooms from?
I don't know.
Can we see some mushrooms? Do you have any more?
We could purchase them from you.
No.
course.
I could I could make you dinner.
Mushroom dinner.
We could have mushroom dinner.
We'll help you make the mushroom dinner.
Okay.
Success.
You need help with where you're going right now.
No.
I can carry you. I'm very fast.
Just scoops her up like a baby.
It's like the Flash. You got to compensate for like whiplash and stuff. Like if you run too fast.
Comes out and her face is all smooth because it's all been pushed back.
Then you give a couple of seconds later.
Yeah.
The wrinkles kick back in. Do you want food now?
Yes, let's help you make food now.
Okay. She looks like she's making a tough decision between whatever she was going to do and feeding you.
If you need us to get something, I can go grab something for you.
No. Okay. Come on. She leads you back to her house.
It feels painfully slow to Randall.
Yes. It is. But here you are in her humble abode. The door opens and you can smell old lady smell.
Oh yeah.
But it's old lady smell.
And
Old lady smell
mushrooms.
times 10.
Icy hot.
Oh, sorry, what?
Icy hot? Is that like cream that's like you use to dull like muscle and joint aches? Like deep have icy hot.
Yeah, I think it's called deep heat or something.
Deep heat.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, you have a different name for it. Yeah, see, we're not that clever, so we just call it icy hot. It's cold and then it gets hot.
Ice hot. It's real ice hot.
And the commercials are literally like icy hot, cold to dull the pain, and hot to relax it away, like something like that. And it's like that's the whole marketing. That's their whole venture. It's cold and then it's hot, and if you hurt, you want it. And so that's the joke, is that old people always smell like icy hot. Anyway, we can move on now. I'm sure that she smells lovely.
No, there is a quite this when you get into her abode, like, she's already had a little bit of a smell of like kind of like gross,
Smell of gross.
unclean. Everyone that
I
you've
think
met
this is
so
an
far,
unhelpful stereotype.
everyone that you've met so far has been unkempt, unwashed, and has smelled a little bit of urine. And going into her abode is a stronger version of that.
Can we leave the door open?
There is no light in here. The only window is high up on the wall, and the sun isn't at an angle that lights the room.
It's very
You can see that there are a few candles dotted around the room and a fireplace in the northern wall.
but none of it's lit.
Can I
Correct.
just like reach up and like touch the window and just cast a light cantrip on the window as if the sun were coming in, and like so she just doesn't notice, but we can like Randall can see.
That's
Sure.
smart.
Yeah, no problem. So illuminating the room, you can see a lot better. That it has not been maintained at all. It is very, very messy in here. There are
I probably wasn't expecting guests, so it's understandable.
that's true. Yeah, clothes on the floor, as well as it appears to be that the room has been used as a toilet a couple of times.
I
You're
make a
more than
dexterity
welcome to
roll
have
avoid
a. Hi, Chad. For some reason, I think Tribal Lion, aka Chad, has decided to change his pseudonym to Delta Psi TV, and I think it's dope. I think it's a fucking cool name, Delta Psi.
Wait, what was it before?
Just like oh,
It was Tribal Lion.
Oh, okay.
I'm only mentioning that because you might recognize that name from a stream channel.
Yes.
Hi.
That's why I
Hi. Oh, I
asked.
didn't see Tess. Hi,
Hello.
Tess.
Hi, Tess.
Yeah. So it don't smell good no here.
Well, you know what? I have prestidigitation.
ching, 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 ching.
I have that now. That's the thing that I've got now.
That was a good move.
Mhm.
I
Are you going to
have
spend
it.
the next hour cleaning in here?
No, I'm not going to clean it, I can make a smell.
Ah.
Prestidigitation.
Uh-huh.
Minor magical
Oh,
trick.
the Febreze effect.
I am definitely going to like
Coat
just-
descent.
I can have 3 such effects going at any one time, and I'm literally gonna just Febreze the area around each one of us.
All right.
Okay.
Nugget's on his own.
Nugget refuses to come in.
That's fair.
But there's so many interesting spells now.
Interesting is a dangerous word sometimes. So all the 3 of us are going to smell is a light floral scent, probably peony. Not pea, but peony.
I was going to say, interesting choice of
I
word.
realized,
Choice of
like-
scent there.
Hang on. You've replaced
It
this
smells
pea
like
smell with
hyacinth.
pea smell.
There we go.
Nice. Good touch.
Goldfinch, thank you for
Goldfinch.
subscribing for 15 months. Hope you do well.
I
Axe
had
body
that
spray.
thought.
Axe body spray.
The ladies come from all over the land.
The room is
telling
crowded.
you, like-
You hear a stampede.
A lot of that stuff, like when they get into like making like the weird extra scents, it's bad. But it's like something about the like base versions of a lot of those sprays are like they have to be chemically formulated to be like that smells really good. Like specifically to women. I don't know why that's the thing that happens because like everyone, like I know people who just straight up go out and like buy that for themselves because they just like the way it smells.
Really?
like-
Oh my goodness.
Or like Old Spice, they'll just wear Old Spice because they're like smells so good. I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway,
Science, yo.
So,
Yeah.
proven 100% actual works.
Yeah.
Everyone
So-
go out and buy it right now.
we smell flowers.
Okay. So you can see in the center of the room that there is a crock pot that is on top of a small kind of fireplace sort of setup. You can see that in the center of the roof there is a kind of a hole for it to escape if necessary. Smoke, that is.
Not people. Okay.
Are any of the mushrooms lying about?
Carl!
I was waiting for you to read it.
Carl! Oh my god! Tessa, you've lied to me.
There's not been an answer yet.
Carl, oh my god. It's not for me. But
That's neutral.
it's not shit. See? I told you.
Oh,
Neutral.
that feels like
Something that you wouldn't.
keeping everyone happy.
Anyway.
Tess. I knew the truth. I knew the truth would set us all free.
It's one of the few deodorants that isn't antiperspirant, which I don't like the idea of.
The more you know.
It's like
There are
Old
some
Spice?
antiperspirant versions
Oh.
of it.
Axe, right? Never mind.
You can get.
Is that because it's a body spray? It'd be weird to spray
Mask the
antiperspirant
stench.
all over your body.
I guess if you just don't want to sweat anywhere. That might
I
not sound like
refuse to
something that's
sweat.
like an issue in a climate where you all come from. But I come from a place where 8 months out of the year, any skin that touches skin sweats, and even the skin that doesn't touch skin sweats. And sometimes your shoulders just sweat for no reason. It's 125 degrees. Like
Well, they don't want to be left out of the fun.
maybe all over antiperspirant isn't the worst thing ever. Like well, you'll die and you'll get Alzheimer's from the aluminum, but you know, you didn't sweat a bunch and you didn't smell bad.
You'll definitely die of overheat.
Also, listen, people in chat, all right? I was there. She ate the pizza. She said it was not great, but not bad. She said it was passable. She wouldn't choose to eat it. Okay?
Kiwi pizza.
Kiwi pizza is off limits for everybody. Nobody should have kiwi pizza.
Yeah, those two things should not be combined. I'm sorry.
I
I
like
like
that's
both.
where you draw the line is
Yeah.
kiwi.
That'd be like putting apple on a pizza or banana. Banana.
It's
on a
good
pizza,
to
come
have
on.
boundaries.
Banana.
Banana.
And communicate them. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I sweat
I
all the
sweat all the
time, but
time.
I don't like the idea of chemicals stopping me from sweat. Like what? I don't like the idea of a chemical stopping me from sweat.
It's
Wait,
questionable.
so you
There's a
so you
period
don't
there.
so you don't like antiperspirant sprays?
Yeah, they're bad for you. Like
Antiperspirants.
Yeah, because it's
Huh.
like there's like significant research that links antiperspirants to like cancers, to Alzheimer's, to all this other stuff, because people have only worn this stuff for like the last 100 years. Like you wore dress and shirt shields under your actual dresses and shirts, and that's what you wash because that's what got sweat on. And that's why they're like, when you look at old period clothing, there's like those shifts that they had because they're just like cheap fabric to go under your clothes so that your clothes don't get messed up from you sweating. And then this person invented something that was supposed to keep surgeons' hands dry. And the surgeons were like, yeah, but I can't operate with this crap all over my hands. And they were like, how can I market this? And they told people, actually, it's really bad if you smell bad in public. People are going to hate you and it's awful and they'll think you're the
It does
worst.
suck.
And people back then didn't know any better than to just believe what people told them. And all of a sudden they started buying deodorant. And you stopped having to wear shirt shields and dress shields and all these other like undergarments to like absorb the sweat and protect your clothing.
Imagine how stinky the world was back then.
Well, I mean, there was
How
shit
many
everywhere,
people?
so it's just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, like there were horse-drawn carriages operating regularly up and down the street, you know. But manure actually, okay, I can't. I'm from a small town in Texas.
We've been
I'm like,
quite
manure actually-
significantly derailed here, I think.
Yeah, actually. Are there any
It's
mushrooms
beyond
in here?
normal shenanigans. Give me a perception check or investigation check.
I'm definitely gonna go with perception. Just like I know that my investigation's not great. Yeah, I'm going with perception. 19.
Ooh. This place is coated in mushrooms. It's not that she has a small collection tucked away in a cupboard that she has plucked and, you know, from their packaging, from their like Tesco plastic wrapping or whatever. It's that the floor has mushrooms, the ceiling has mushrooms, the walls have mushrooms, the bed has mushrooms. This is fungi central.
Do we now realize that the old lady is the toad from Mario?
But is she larger than the average old lady?
She does. So I mean, she does. Now you notice that some of her clothing does have fungi on it, and as you kind of reflect on this, and you see as she turns around, she's picking mushrooms and trying to put it into this pot in the center of the room, which is filled with kind of manky old water. It's kind of a dark in a color on a fire that is not lit. You can kind of see that where she's been scratching, you can also see small spores.
Oh my god.
I forgot about your bread.
I was like, I still have it by me. Use that.
As soon as I looked around and I saw that mushrooms were covering everything, I just like took one because I have this like big long
Fireball!
sleeves.
There is
And
only
I
one
put
way.
the cloth over my face to like, oh no.
Okay.
I don't want to breathe whatever this is in. I made it smell better and now I regret it because I would have
Could
known better.
everybody make a Constitution saving throw,
I
please?
knew it.
Oh, I'm gonna get some horrible disease.
Again.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm gonna get the really horrible disease.
Yes.
Oh, we're all gonna get the
Wait, aren't I supposed to be proficient in those?
random.
Oh, you know what? I just rolled Constitution. I didn't roll a Constitution save.
Okay, so agile saving proficiency.
So
on.
9.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Oro.
Yeah.
Is there
Do I
maybe
get-
a
does my
new
body get
feat
taken
that
off?
you've just got that you maybe want to use to re-roll?
And you, oh yeah, lucky. I forgot I had that. Yeah.
Boy, that's lucky.
Hey, yeah, that's well lucky that.
Randall is just moving from region to region, contracting diseases.
Hey, I didn't contract this one.
Okay. Continue with your day.
Heck. Why didn't I take lesser restoration? I should have, but I didn't. Randall's why bubonic plague spread so quickly. I'm gonna start slowly backing out the door. Do I recognize what type of mushrooms these are when I saw them?
Give me a nature check.
Okay. Could I argue that it's survival? Because I grew up in the forest and we picked mushrooms sometimes, and I knew which ones were the good ones to pick and which ones were not the good ones to pick.
Yeah.
It's only given me a difference of +2. And I still only rolled a 6, so it's an 8 anyway.
You are not familiar with this kind of mushroom.
I've never seen a mushroom like this before. I'm saying as I'm backing out with like the cloth over my face. Do not.
Oro is also leaving. Oh, just look at the time.
Do you not want to stay for soup?
Do you know that you have a mushroom growing out of your neck?
No, I'm okay.
No, that's
I'm just
not normal.
tired.
Have you perhaps been tired since you started eating all these mushrooms that are growing everywhere and out of you?
No, it was before that.
Okay, you're probably the wrong person for me to be asking that question to.
Why don't you come back and take a seat? Or I can bring you the soup.
We'll come back for some later.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And you can see that she picks up the pot in the center of the room and just starts taking slurps out of it.
Oh,
I don't want it
God.
now. She's backwashed it all.
Well, now.
Just ruined it.
That
Serve it
actually
out
made
first.
me gag.
She's backwashed it. Gross.
Gross.
That's the gross part.
It's the 10% dregs at the bottom of a bottle.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
We gotta burn that house down.
Just burn the village down at this point. There's no point in it existing.
Just take all the people out
Nope.
of the houses.
Leave them in
and
there. They're all
burn-
mushrooms.
Whoa. Alignment shift.
Chaotic evil. Wait, no. Lawful evil.
The party starts chanting, "Chug!" The old lady takes a step outside her house, leaving her front door open, and once again starts walking in the same direction she was before to cross over to the western side of the river.
I think we should keep an eye on where she's going.
We were gonna follow him. Should we follow her instead?
She didn't look as bad as he did. Like, she looked a little bit more with it. So I'm wondering whether she's got it more recently. And maybe if we keep going this way, we'll find the source. If people are getting worse as we go this way, then that might mean that they got it earlier. But I don't feel like mushrooms just appear in people's homes.
Maybe in their homes, depending upon the moisture and the environment, but certainly not out of their necks.
No, and like that fast, and surely you would get rid of them.
Well, she said it happened before the mushroom started appearing, right? That she started feeling tired and stuff, so...
Yes, but she's old.
Old people are always tired.
You realise at this point that Nugget is once again rolled on their back.
Nugget's so needy.
I am actually definitely going to prestidigitation all of us, like head to toe.
Okay.
I'm like worried about like spores now.
Just worried about everything.
Yeah,
Batman.
this is weird. I don't want mushrooms growing out of my neck. Something in here is batnip.
A new hamlet can grow from the ashes.
Oh no. That's part of the cycle of life. Fires are natural because the ash fertilizes the land, and then the new houses will grow and they won't have them.
Civilization starts. It catches the mushroom. It gets burnt to the ground, and civilization starts. It's the cycle of life.
Neurally is now a germaphobe.
Cycle of life. dude, for real, this has been the grossest stuff. She's like,
if
gosh.
that's the thing that you want to do, if that's a character development thing you want to do, you can commit to that.
I think she's teetering on the edge of it. She literally learned prestidigitation because she's like, I've been covered in shit.
That's a good idea.
Like everywhere I go, things are gross. I had to trudge through a bunch of stuff like multiple times. Wasn't there something like gross in the forest I ran into too? And I was just like, why? The one time I don't get prestidigitation. Oh, and I was like sopping wet, and I'm just like, I can't.
There's a lot of wishing you had prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Since it's 9, should we have a bio break?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
As is traditional for us, our bio breaks don't last very long, so we'll be back shortly. Usually one of us
3, 2,
faster than others. Race ya!
Oh my gosh.
3, 2, 1, go!
I'm good, so I'm gonna stay. Hi, Lord Arctic Frost. Did Matt already send the dice to me? Because if he already sent them, they might be in my mailbox, and I just haven't gone and checked it yet. In which case, I will do it after D&D today. But if he hasn't already sent them, wait, do you know when he sent them? I'm sure he would have told you. I'm like sitting here quietly waiting for a response. This really has been the like campaign of the grossest stuff. Like that was real gagging I was doing earlier. Like when he talked about like the backwash, like it was already super gross, the like fetid water with like old mushrooms in it. Like that's enough just to make me kind of like queasy as it is. Oof. You don't know if they've gone out yet. I will message Matthew presently in this moment. Matthew, where the heck are my dice?
Oh. Hello. Oh.
Hello. Sorry. So, Lord Arctic Frost, I know from my Tuesday night games over on Ascension Stories channel. And he so wonderfully and like generously and graciously found some dice he thought were really cool and sent them to all of us. So he sent them to the PO box for Matt and Sarah, and then Matt's supposed to be sending them to me. And he's like, "Have you got your dice yet?" And I'm like, "I don't even know if he has sent them. I don't know if he like when he plans to do it if he hasn't done it already. So I'm gonna message him right now." That's why you got back, and I was like focused on something because I was like, I'm gonna message him right now and be like, "Yo, where my dice at?
Yo, give me my dice.
Give me my dice, fool.
Give me my dice." Outrageous.
I pity the fool who doesn't give me my dice.
I just got into D&D a few days ago, but for some reason I got both the starters set and the essentials set. Do you get different stuff in each of them? What's the most fun class in your opinion?
Bards.
Katie is a career bard. So she's
way too many bards.
maybe somewhat biased. I think you can have a lot of fun with any of the classes, really. I think if you're looking for it depends on where your concept of like what you find fun. If you find doing absolute like tons and tons of damage, then you could go for something like a paladin or a fighter or something, or a rogue maybe. If you find being stealthy and sneaky and doing extra backstab damage and stuff, that's kind of a nice rogue thing. Bards for the most part, get to be a bit of everything.
That's why I like them.
I thought wizard was fun. I think spellcasters are a lot of fun because you can problem solve in a lot more creative ways.
I've only played DM so far. Well, the great thing about playing DM is that you can regularly switch out what types of roles you're playing, so you can kind of experience a little bit of all of them and try out a bunch of different character concepts like as you go. A lot of times like PCs that I've made, like player characters that I've made for other campaigns that like never happened, or old characters that I haven't played in a long time show up in campaigns as like non-player characters, because I already know how they'll react to things, and I don't have to worry about coming up with voices or likes and dislikes and stuff for them. So you can play whatever you want when you DM.
Just seen Dox's t-shirt. That was really good.
Oh, what's it say?
Good luck, have fun.
Oh my
Like that one.
gosh, that's so cool.
Unfortunately, one of them isn't a real element, and it upset me when I learned that.
Oh.
Is
I've only
it
played
the GL?
I think it's the
I don't remember
HF.
GL.
Oh, they
Is
have
it?
different modules to adventure in. Oh, that's pretty good. As a DM, what class do you have the most fun messing with, Tom?
All of them.
So in our last campaigns, we had the last campaign before this one. What episode are we on, by the way? It's like 9 or something?
10.
We're on episode 10.
think.
We didn't
Is
make
it?
a big deal about that. We should have made a big deal about that. In the last campaign that we played, it was almost 3 years long. And we even did a little baby spin-off campaign where we had a little baby spin-off campaign where the main group of adventurers hired a lower level adventuring party to go and do their bidding on some side quests that they couldn't handle, basically, because they had bigger problems. And we played that game, and that was a bunch of our friends. We brought into another D&D game. Unfortunately, it didn't come to full completion because of scheduling, and they're all Americans as well. So they're Americans on different sides of the continent, so they're extra difficult. But at one point during that, one of the characters was a warlock. And I think if you're a creative DM, you can have a lot of fun with messing with warlocks because they have this, supreme power or whatever that they've pledged themselves to, their patron. And something, I don't know if I told you guys about this, but I kind of made one of the patrons for Tom's character request that he murdered one of Winter's sisters. So during that, so she took a fatal wound from some poison, and the rest of the party, whilst they were rushing up to their hotel, like they're in their hotel room, they're in their room in the tavern to heal her. Like she was fine when they picked her up, well, not fine, but poisoned and dying. Within saving, got her up to the inn, up to their bedroom, and by the time they got there, she was dead, which is a lot to go from one place to another. What happened is that he had stabbed her repeatedly in the spine whilst they were carrying her up the stairs.
Oh my god!
And he got away with it because they had no idea that's what had happened. So it was very fun, and I rewarded him with a bonus level. He leveled up, but that was a smaller campaign that wasn't really it's not a long-term thing. So rewarding people with things like an entire level over their companions is something that I wouldn't usually recommend. But it was really fun. It was very fun messing with them. I wouldn't recommend usually making giving a level disparity between your party.
I knew someone who their DM decided for them that their patron was going to make them do a bunch of seemingly random stuff, and their patron was, I think it was Nyarlathotep or one of the mad god types, mad old gods, and so it was put this rock on this windowsill, knock over that plant, it's super innocuous stuff. So he just thought he was going about his day and just minorly inconveniencing people, and that it was amusing to his patron, and he was well, I'm not really hurting anyone. And then eventually he found out all of these chain reaction things that he'd set off, or you put the rock on the windowsill, and then when the lady put the pie out to cool, it knocked it off and it fell onto the head of the baby bird that the child was bringing home, and it was like scarred forever, and like it was like had all these like really like terrible outcomes to all these like seemingly innocuous. Like the plant that you knocked over was actually like this carefully cultivated bloom that they'd been growing for 5.5 years, and it was really rare plant, and it was going to cure the terrible and rare disease that the person in the house had, and because you knocked it over, it didn't grow properly, and it was like 10 years worth of effort for this, and it's just going to save their life. Like just like super ridiculously elaborate stuff. And he would like slowly find out eventually about each little thing. So like once he found out the first one, it became this continual source of dread for just like the inner struggle of like picking up the like the handful of dirt and setting it on the stair. You're like, what is this gonna do? Somebody's they're gonna fall, are they gonna break themselves? Like, and so it was really funny to watch that play out.
That was very complicated. Nice to meet you, Lord Arctic Frost. I feel like I might have met you last week or maybe the week before. It's nice to have you around in the stream. My warlock found out that her patron was trying to consume the world, and he switched away from her patron and has made a very bad enemy. I mean, warlocks are tons of fun to mess with them. Are there any free D&D sites so I can play with friends? Roll20 doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for you? That's bizarre. Is Fantasy Grounds free? I don't know if Fantasy Grounds is free.
Fantasy Grounds is free, but I have downloaded it and uninstalled it and reinstalled it probably about 50 times, and that thing has never worked for me.
You can also use Tabletop Simulator, which is also not free, unfortunately. But I mean, that might be something you might have to Google unless people in chat have any other options, because Roll20 is most commonly used, to be fair. But I mean, really, if you wanted to, you could use. We use Zoom for video conferencing. You've got a camera that points down to a map or something, or you could do an Adam and have a whiteboard that you draw on. You know, opportunities are endless.
D&D finds a way.
It does find a way. Anyway, let's continue with our game, shall we?
Chaotician. Yes.
So, old lady, she's pottering in your direction. She passes through you and she starts walking towards the other side of the river.
I clean us all off. I'm just making that point again. But I have prestidigitation
Everyone,
now.
you guys are pristine.
Oh, yeah.
No spores.
This is the cleanest I've been in weeks.
Well, it only cleans non-living materials, so it's just cleaning your clothes and stuff up.
So do we want to go and see where that dude went then, I guess?
Well, if Randall's right and she's more recently affected, then maybe we'll find the source of it. He was carrying something over there.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a duty to check up on all the townsfolk now. So.
Well, here we go.
Maybe not go inside.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
Okay.
We could look in.
You walk painfully slowly for Randall once again as you follow her across to the other side. She steps into the mill and she leaves the door open as she does so.
Oh, we're not following her. We're going up.
Oh, you're not following her?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I
over
apologize.
here where we saw the guy with the barrel.
Right, sorry. I thought you were following her. Either way, you can see that quite clearly from that side of the river. She walks past the first small house here, and she makes her way up to the northernmost mill. He. We're talking about the gentleman. You guys are walking up to the northernmost hill. My brain is just farting all over the place.
The DM thought you were following the plot.
He gave us the guy plot first, okay?
No, sorry, you had the two options, and I felt like I heard someone say they wanted to follow the old lady. And
I wanted to follow the old lady.
Maybe, yeah.
It's okay. Okay,
it's fine. Either way, so you go up to the mill, and you're still looking for the gentleman, aren't you? The one you were following before.
Wait,
Did
Oro want to look? Did Oro want to follow the lady? Because if you stopped and said something, then we could rediscuss it. We don't have to just well, this is what we said, so we're going to do that instead.
Well, I said I mentioned maybe following the old lady just because we could see her now, and I didn't know whether we knew exactly where that bloke went, but
that's fair.
Because it seemed as though she didn't know where she was going.
No, true.
So whether she was compelled to go somewhere or something. Goes to
see if she tries to pick up a barrel.
Go across the river with it. Wait a minute.
That's insightful Jenny shit going on right there.
Mm-hmm. That does make sense. And we can always, if there's nothing of note there, then we can always go look at the other one.
Yeah. Mushrooms grow slowly, so.
All right. Well, whilst you've been having this discussion, you've noticed stepped inside the southern mill here.
I'm sorry.
The
Tom.
door is left ajar.
Make our way back across and we peek into the door.
Walking fast.
So door is open. You can see just inside, but not all the way. Polygon reveal. Boop, 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 boop. You can see some of the
Barrels.
room. There are barrels.
Barrels.
Walking fast and I'm
Old-fashioned.
housebound adventuring.
Oh,
Should
shit.
we
Good one, Snorts.
ever ask what the supplies that they normally send are? Is it
You
barrels?
were told, at least briefly or vaguely, that they get deliveries. So the person who put the quest up, Linus Cardin, is a tanner.
Okay, so tanning supplies. Like pea and leather.
Hands, leathers, people. I think that it was like there were general supplies too, though. Like this was like a way trading post sort of thing, where different,
Right.
because they said there were different types of goods. Looks like the same barrels as in the other building.
I was just laughing at Adam getting accidental credit for something that Lord Hunting Frost said. That happens all the time in our chat, especially. They are visually very similar. However, on the floor in here, there is not sawdust. There is grain, because your boy accidentally put it on the map layer, not the GM layer earlier.
Nobody saw it's fine.
I actually
Dots
didn't
go
see.
grain.
It's
Wait, do we
definitely not
know what
relevant.
it is that's obscuring our vision? Is
The
that what you
door
were
not
just
being
talking
fully
The
about?
GM layer. Oh.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go inside and push the door open fully, you could have a full view of the room.
Oh, that's not what I meant to click.
Can Oro sneakily do it? Like peek her head around the
Give me a stealth check.
garage? Can't wait to
We,
fail another roll.
Had to retcon something for Oro.
Yeah.
Because we didn't realize that she was wearing was a scale.
Yeah.
Something that gives you disadvantage on stealth checks. So we've had to retcon that because it was a mistake at conception. All is well
Just
now.
like me.
Shut the fuck up! I ain't taking
No, I
this.
couldn't leave that joke alone because someone else would have made that joke in the chat. I had to say it before someone else did.
While I don't disagree with while I disagree with your point, I appreciate the pun.
It was funny.
Thank you.
Still, fuck you. No one talks about my friend like that.
Not even the friend themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yes. So, with
So
a
do you not have
certain
scale
amount
on
of
anymore?
we're studded leather now, motherfuckers, which suits
Much cooler.
Exactly.
the studded leather jacket.
I'm an edgy bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Stop making self-deprecating jokes, Casey and Snorts.
Look what you've done to me. Now I'm doing it all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good when your friends make fun of themselves, does it?
Exactly.
Taste of your own medicine.
Right, okay.
Grain.
Great.
This is a grain mill.
A single grain? Oh.
You already said this is a storage for the grain barrels. So what you can see in here, at least, you've managed to open the door in a way that has not drawn attention to yourself. On the far side of the room, you can see the elderly lady picking up or attempting to pick up a barrel.
Called it.
Are there
Wonder what-
mushrooms growing off the barrels?
No.
I wonder what information we can grain from this room.
Weak.
That's my A game, man. Come on.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Does grandma even lift, bro?
I mean, she's struggling. She's struggling to lift.
Well, now I feel like I
So-
shouldn't help, but I should help.
This is the part where I say that glean would have been an appropriate word used there, because when you collect like leftover crops from a field, you're gleaning it, so you could glean
Is that
the
it?
information from the wheat.
I
ear.
didn't know that.
I wish we
Not
were all.
farmer
I
enough.
wish we were all farmers. Yeah.
You
Damn
didn't
it.
grow up down the street from a farm. I
Yeah, I
did.
did. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
You didn't pay attention to things.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
There we go.
I've seen where I grew up. Like it's pretty. We got Nick with which level goblin is this?
I was gonna
Nick?
say, I think Nick's already a gobbo, so congratulations
Oh,
on your
God.
second gobbo.
Now I
Your
feel like my
level
gobbo
2
isn't
gobbo.
enough.
It's okay. Were you first, Gobbo?
No, I wasn't.
Dox was first gobbo, I think.
No, I was second gobbo.
Who was second? Who was
I
first?
think
Gobbo?
it was
Snorts-
Tortu, wasn't it?
Snorts
Oh,
was first
Snorts.
gobbo.
That
I
makes
don't think
perfect
Tortu. I
sense.
think Tortu was a late gobbo, but now Tortu has many gobbos.
I feel like my
late
one gobbo is
bloom, but
inadequate.
wow, that escalated quickly. Got very
That
gobbo
glow.
very fast.
Very gobbo very fast.
94% to first gobbo. Oh my goodness.
Oh shit, garbage. So
Snorts
close.
has allegedly got like 5 gobbos worth of points.
Oh my god.
I need to
Well, why
make
didn't
something else.
Redeem them all for a platinum gobbo.
Is the old lady obviously like hurting herself while she's trying to pick up this barrel?
Well, you can't see it yet. It's just me peering around the corner, right?
Oh, I thought we'd all.
Fucking love Jenny.
I
I
assumed we'd all kind of like walked over and looked in, but I remember you saying you wanted to stealth for something now.
Yes, she is
my
stealthy.
bad. My bad.
When I see her go to pick up the barrel and struggle, Oro comes back outside and goes, "She's trying to pick up a barrel. The old lady's trying to pick up the barrel."
Is she successful?
Well, she seems to be struggling a little bit. I don't know. I just look.
Well, I'm not
I came
surprised.
back out
She
when I don't know. Sorry, and then I look out. Coming back in.
She's struggling.
I don't understand what the barrels have to do with anything.
I think
But
we
I
need.
also don't.
I think we need to follow her where she's going with the barrel.
Do we
Okay.
need to get in a barrel and be carried?
You just sit in a barrel and have this old lady carry.
She eventually
Why is
figures out
this
that she
one
can.
so much heavier?
She eventually figures out she can just put it on its side and roll it, and then you end up being like rolled. In
Oh god.
Just hit a throw it up in the barrel.
I don't know, prestidigitation.
Scene from The Hobbit happens. We already had
With the
someone
fish.
almost falling over into the river.
Oh no.
She's still. Should we help her or should we just look on from the distance?
Well, we could try and help, but the other guy didn't want any help.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
And-
pick up barrels as well and just like.
I don't
Like
No,
wanna
I'm not
touch
picking
them.
up any fucking barrel.
What if they've got mushroom stuff in them?
Yeah.
You want mushrooms growing out of your hands?
No.
Alright.
No.
But we could open a barrel, see what's in it.
Sounds like a really terrible idea.
I think we
You can
Open
open a
it.
barrel.
Spores.
You can open a barrel. I'll stand 15 feet away.
Yeah.
You have a
sounds like a
track
safe
record
radius.
with surviving weird infections, so
Basically immune to all diseases now. Right, DM.
Right, dear.
Yes.
See.
See, canon.
Please
Clip that.
continue to
Clip
put
it.
yourself. Please continue to put yourself in dangers.
Clip the first bit. Should we just wait out here, see if she picks it up, and then just act,
Yeah.
Cool, like we're just chilling, like we're just hanging out.
We don't
just-
care you're struggling.
No, sorry. Maybe we'll offer, to be polite, but we should probably say no.
Probably
Okay.
said yes.
Alright, cool, everyone.
Okay. I lean on the wall.
Yeah, I also lean on the wall.
As you turn around, no longer peering into the grain mill, you notice with discomfort that the innkeep is maybe 5 feet away from you,
Ah,
and he's just stood there. He's got the glass still, and he's cleaning it.
It's got like one really worn side on it as well. It's just like,
Yeah.
Eroding away. Hey, Nick.
Hello.
Oh my god, there's a lean emote. Yes, we're doing that. Hey, how you doing?
Is there anything I can do to help you?
Oh, we're still trying to find a trader person.
Oh. Well, nobody here trades anymore.
Did
So
they?
there are no traders.
You told us to go ask somebody who traded.
As you asked about the millers, if they might trade. They might trade. They no longer trade.
But if they no longer trade, then why would they trade?
They used to trade.
Why did they stop?
They decided they no longer wanted to trade.
It just seems like you're giving us really conflicting information.
They no longer trade. They used to trade. Now they do not.
Mm-hmm. So then there'd be no point in suggesting we go talk to them because they'd still know nothing about trading. You could have just told us they've decided not to trade anymore. You can go tell the people that were worried that they've decided they're no longer selling any goods to anyone.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Can I do like an insight check or something just to be like,
What is it you're trying to glean?
how? I almost said, can I do a creep check because this guy's doing is really creepy. Just to, I don't know. See,
What kind of information are you trying to get?
I want to see if he's like trying to be like menacing or
Okay.
something like
It
that.
doesn't appear that he is trying to threaten you or anything like that.
Right.
It seems to you like he's this is someone forcing themselves to be hospitable in a way that is unnatural.
Right.
Have you cleaned that glass yet?
I like to clean glasses.
What about the other side?
You can see now the inside is just caked with spores.
Yeah. Can I see anything on his neck?
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Yeah, because I know what I'm
Because I know what I'm looking for.
Mechanics.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, why?
You do
Hey.
see,
You've got a reroll.
you do see that there are a few spores, and a couple of them appear to be in his beard.
Oh, that's why we didn't see them the first time.
Sneaky shrooms.
He doesn't actually have a beard. It's actually just mushrooms.
You look
It's like-
closer.
like-
and it's
it's like
tiny,
like,
tiny. Ooh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Are his eyes milky?
They are slightly milky.
Hmm.
I just look over at Oro and Randall and I'm like,
What? Why are people moving barrels? What's over there that they're moving it to?
They are going about their business.
Mhm. Why are you here?
but I thought they weren't in business anymore.
Well, they have their own business. They are no longer trading.
Okay. Well, he's moving back and forth. Is he doing that actually as well? Like closer.
No, this is just me being comfortable.
Okay, well, we could just go back over the river, see if we can find anyone else that might be able to help.
Could I interest you in a beverage?
No, thank you. Thanks.
Perhaps a meal?
No,
We've just had a
Do you
meal
plan
with-
on staying the night?
no.
Oh, certainly not.
Oh, why is that?
have a dentist appointment tomorrow.
Well, I'd really appreciate it if you stayed.
Well, we, need to go report our findings on why the traders have stopped trading. So we just need to go talk to them really quickly, and then we'll be on our way.
What will you tell them?
The traders?
Yes.
Or actually, they're not traders anymore. The ex-traders who
Tricked them.
have decided that although they continue to produce goods, they would no longer like to profit off of them. I won't tell them anything. I will ask them questions.
Okay. He just stands there,
Okay.
still cleaning the mug.
Well-
There's an easier way to clean things, and I'm going to prestidigitation the mug.
You're gonna blow his mind.
Oh god.
He just continued cleaning it.
Did he not even notice that it was?
No.
Not. Okay. We should go. Ugh.
Yep.
I'll see
Would
it.
you like-
So where are you going to go off? Over to the other side of the river?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Away from him.
So as you start taking steps and you go across the bridge and you realize that he is tailing you.
Uh-huh.
He is in no way, shape, or form trying to be sneaky about it. When you stop, he stops. So if you get halfway across the bridge, or you get to the small island in the middle of the river, and you turn around, you just see him stood on the bridge,
He's a true NPC.
cleaning the glass.
Can we? How come you're following us?
So he's following it maybe 20, 30 feet away.
How come you're following us?
Going about my business.
I think something might be using him to keep an eye on us.
Yeah.
If something's controlling the people with the spores. A mind fungus. Have I read about a mind fungus? I feel like that might be something that's come up before.
You can give me a history check.
History.
Not advantage with this one, I'm afraid.
History.
Oh, yes, got the
How
brain
about a four?
shrooms.
No. Sounds like this guy has an Assassin's Creed tailing mission.
Right, he just like walks behind and stares at people.
Oh my god, those missions are the worst.
What is
Except
it?
in Assassin's Creed, you have to like hide in small groups of people or something, or like on a rooftop. Whereas this guy's just stood in the middle of the bridge, staring intensely.
Yeah,
Holds his mug up to his face, like
Yeah.
yeah.
it's the low level quest where you're not like very good at it yet, and they're like it's the tutorial mode. You say you're going about your business, but it kind of seems like you're going about our business.
I'm going about my business.
What is your business?
I'm going about my business.
What is your business?
I'm being hospitable.
Really not.
Please let me know if I can do anything to help your stay in our small village.
You can leave us alone.
I'm afraid I won't do that.
Why?
Then you're not being very hospitable, then, are you?
I want to take care of you.
Sometimes when you love something, you have to let it go.
Like those mushrooms. Get rid of them.
Adam, congratulations on being a
Adam
goblin.
is a
that your first
goblin.
goblin? I think it is, right?
Adam is a goblin.
Doesn't feel special now that there's lots of people with goblins.
It is still
Stop.
special.
Stop it.
Stop.
7 billion people in the world. There's only like 10 that have
Right?
those. Like,
Jeez.
calm down.
It's your way of, enshrining yourself as a member of the
It shows
community.
you've been here for a long time.
Exactly.
Watching
That's kind of
us-
the point.
What'd you say?
You're not part of the community until you're a goblin.
Only
You're a
then are
true
you
fan.
accepted. You a
The
goblin?
Gobble thing's been going for like a month, okay? Calm down.
Adam, let me know what characteristic you'd like on your goblin whenever. You don't have to think of it right now if you don't know. For anyone
Did I
new,
ever
this
tell
goblin
you-
ritual must be rather strange. I like there's a ritual. Ah, yes, finally. More goblins have appeared.
Oh yes.
E.g. spoon. A couple moments later, the elderly lady comes out of the grain mill, holding a barrel.
You know, it
Impressive.
would be hospitable to carry that barrel for her because it looks like it's too heavy.
Okay. He doesn't.
Is he also on the bridge in the way?
Yes.
Which is going to. I just want to see what happens now.
You can see. You can see from here that it appears that the lid of the barrel is open. And as she comes down the pathway towards you, she seems to be struggling a little bit, but nowhere near as much as you'd expect her to be struggling with a barrel that was quite heavy, especially compared to the other person.
Because she's got that strength mushroom.
And she gets to where the innkeeper's at the bridge, and he lets her pass, and she continues, and she starts walking towards you. And unless you stop her or anything, she's going to walk through you. As she passes, you can see that the barrel is half full.
I was like, I'm moving away as she passes by, but as she continues on, I do want to try to get a look at it if she's shorter than me.
So you can see that inside the barrel is some grain, and that it is half empty. Or half full.
Half full. Or the barrel is overspecified.
Oh,
too big.
no. Oh, we've got to stop this.
Not the barrel being half full. We could
They're
fill it up with
taking-
more grain.
They're taking grain to have it milled. They are taking the grain to have it milled.
Oh, but they're not trading it with anyone.
You really think that?
Well, I mean, it's not been arriving.
It's not been arriving to our town. The best thing to do would not be to trade it, because then you would be able to locate a source if you were to just leave it places and let people use it. If you have this goal of poisoning people, which it kind of seems like somebody does. She's full on suspicious of this guy at this point.
Not naming names, but someone who loves that glass.
Loves to unclean glasses.
Just now wipe the other side of it with the mushroom covered cloth, so everything is all.
Yeah.
Kawaifu redeemed the last D6 bonus of the day and said, I found this on the floor. There seem to be mushrooms on it.
I like that.
Are you giving it to anyone? I don't know if anyone wants it with mushrooms on it, but...
One of us will want it with mushrooms on it.
Good mushrooms to cancel out the bad mushrooms, right? That's how this works.
Yes, absolutely.
What? Noise happens and you grow in two sides.
Then you find out it's a water level. No.
Clearly, I'm giving it to you, Jenny. What do you mean clearly? But thank you, I'll take it.
I'm going to follow her.
Yeah.
Okay. So following her, if we expedite it very slightly, takes you up the path along the right-hand side, on the eastern side of the river, up to the mill. She gets to the end of the path, slightly beyond the doorway, and she, turning over her shoulder, sees that you are there, and stops dead in her tracks.
Alright, casual.
Lean.
Aura and Rando lean against each other. It's like,
You successfully blend into your environment by leaning.
That urban camouflage.
Yeah, right. The barkeeper's still stalking you. So she now turns and faces you, standing slightly past the doorway, facing south. The barman now, now both either side of you. He's about where the toilet is. You're about, here.
I want to be stood.
That's not the toilet.
Randall is stood sideways and is trying to look both sides to make sure he can see like both of them at once.
Oh, is it? Okay. I mean, that's 180 degrees.
Yeah, but, like if you stand like sideways and there's one here and one here, then you can be like,
Oh, you want to be able to see? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in one go.
no, his FOV isn't that high.
Okay. It's FOV, isn't it? Find the nearest wall to lean against.
There's a tree there.
And they just stood there watching you.
Oh, please feel free to go about your business.
Okay, says the barman. The barman?
It's a man, is it? I'm kidding.
You've given us
Knew
away
it.
now.
You've gotten away with it too if it weren't for us meddling kids. Does she look like upset or just like stopped in like blank?
She's kind of pretty much stopped and looks pretty blank. You can
Oops,
see
you're
the
lagging.
mouth.
Oh,
Ha!
yep, that's still lagging.
Yeah.
How about now?
That's better.
Yeah.
Maybe Steam started to download because I closed down. It was fine. She looks like she's tired from holding the barrel, but apart from that, she seems nothing is amiss. Apart from her being gross.
Knew we should have been in a barrel. She should go straight in.
How far away is she from the door?
She's maybe 2 or 3 feet.
And how far behind her are we? Like, because I know she had started off like
About 20 foot. She's slow. It's easy to catch. As you're waiting, another person exits the mill that she stood beside, with a barrel in their hands. Steps
Is it the
outside.
guy?
No, this is somebody else.
Oh.
There's 3 of them, 4 of them.
This is another person. This is another old lady. And she comes out wearing a gown that has a similar kind of appearance and nastiness to the other elderly lady who comes and stands next to her and then turns around holding the barrel and looks at you.
Everyone's just looking at each other right now.
Uh-huh.
Did she leave the door open?
Yes.
Just gonna start moseying on over that way.
Okay. Well, they stand in place and just watch you. The door is very slightly ajar.
What do I see?
You see. Let's give you a bit of a polygon reveal. Polygon reveal. You can see the inner workings of another mill. There are a few barrels in there.
Does it look spory inside?
Sorry?
Does it look spory inside?
I mean, there is a light
Spores?
dusting, light dusting of spores that is on the barrels to the southern side of the room.
Oh man. The flower's all on the inside.
What are you giggling at?
I don't know if this will work, but I have a thought. So I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do and why, and then you can tell me whether or not it happens the way I would like for it to happen. So, Sacred Flame says it's radiant, but it says flame-like radiance. Would you say that that's something that could still catch fire to something? Flame-like radiance?
I think when it comes to radiant flame, I would say no.
Have actually any fire. So what I'm thinking...
I've never really ever had to think about that, but I would say no.
Okay.
Unless it specifies that it ignites things.
Whatever it says.
I I don't remember it saying.
Flame-like. It says flame-like radiance descends on a creature you can see. Target must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. Like, there are plenty of fire spells that don't ignite things, so I guess it's up to you whether or not saying flame-like radiance makes it count as fire.
When I hear flame-like, I imagine it that's in its appearance, and maybe it's
I see.
behavior, not necessarily its damage type or whatever.
We've
Okay.
got torches, and Oro has a bow.
Yeah, so there's this
Jenny's
kitchen
just like-
mishap once where Neurali is from when she was helping somebody with some meals, and someone like dropped a big sack of flour near the oven, and it ignited because flour in the air in like thin particulates like that is actually incredibly flammable. And I was like, maybe I just shoot one little sacred flame in there and hopefully it'll blow up, because it'll blow up the barrel and there'll be fire to ignite it. But it's not fire, and everything I have is radiant or like necrotic. So I'm like, dang, I have nothing.
It
that will
isn't
do this.
arson, it's just extreme cleaning.
Welcome to extreme cleaning.
We call this extermination. Just so everyone knows, the substance use in milling process is extremely explosive. Are you? Was that a guess at what my plans were going to be, or was that Adam corroborating my idea? Prestidigitation can start small fires, though. Yes.
Boom, literally, hopefully, maybe.
There we go.
TPK as the walls of the mill collapse upon us.
We're all outside.
Yeah. The explosion inside.
Yeah.
And it's like a big grenade.
It's not. It's explosive. Like, it will burn up and like make a boom, but it's not gonna. It's not like. It's not TNT all of a sudden just because it like. It is. It is highly flammable, but it's not like. It can't
That's all an
explode stone walls.
explosion is.
But they're like the force required. I'm not. Yeah, it's not going to blow up the building, or at least scientifically it shouldn't, because plenty of structures full of flour have ignited without blowing up. So I'm just going to kind of like, you said these were little old ladies, and I'm kind of a tall lady.
Blow them up.
So I go over, I see the door open, I see a couple of barrels, and I look over at Oro and Randall, and I'm like, there's spores in the flour, as I cast a sacred flame at the barrel with the spores to try to blow it up. And I will be following it up with a prestidigitation when there's flour in the air.
Okay.
I'm way too freaked out by these people. I'm like, nope, we're leaving. We're not gonna let people be flour poisoned. I can't. No.
So Oro and Randall, you see Neurali turn to you and preparing a spell in her hand says, there are spores in the flour, and sends this bolt at one of the barrels. The barrel does kind of explode and sends a puff of flour into the air. You can see that there is a kind of a dense kind of spore population that kind of brings it with it. And as you send an ignition in there as well, everything ignites. The entire room is red and white and just hot for an instant. And as it does that, you can hear the explosion. Each and every one of you has to cover your ears as it happens. You hear a massive crack as you do, and you can see that there is a debris cast from the wooden construction all throughout the building. You can hear more explosions that kind of ripple through the slightly taller building than it is. It's a couple of stories tall. You see that the wheel on the outside is crippled by its lack of kind of foundation on the main mill building, and it breaks off and starts to teeter down down the river.
Free from your shackles.
It starts to roll and it lands smashing against the rock on the slightly lower level. Bits of brick you can see have been cast aside. Although the building mostly has its structural integrity, you can see that parts of the building, at least in small segments, have been cast aside. And how you have to be pretty close to get through this door. How close were you?
I think you can do prestidigitation from 30 feet.
Because you were standing pretty far back.
Yeah, you said I was about 20 feet away, and I just kind of I was edging around the side. Let me see, because Sacred Fame's 60 feet, but I think prestidigitation would have been. Oh, prestidigitation is 10. Just kidding. I was 10 feet away from the door. I was going to get ready to move away, but obviously that would have been I don't think you can hold an action to run. So I was 10 feet away from the door.
Okay. Oh, 10 feet away from the door. Okay.
Yeah.
Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm really
Save
good
your
at
eyebrows.
those.
Save your eyebrows. This is how Nearly dies.
6!
Okay.
Do you have
But
a
I don't have a D of inspiration.
Can
Nope, I gave mine to Oro last time.
if Nugget sees this happening, and Nugget knew that Nearly was about to be in danger from being so close to a radius blast, could Nugget go and swipe Nearly up?
Do you have inspiration?
I do.
Would you like to use it?
Yes.
Okay. So, one of the personality traits that Nugget has is that Nugget always just happens to be there in the nick of time. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's an amazing personality trait.
So, seeing Nearly just this face of, I'm gonna do something that might be dangerous. Kind of cast this spell into the doorway, and Nugget, seeing the panic from Oro, darts into the direction of Nearly, swiping her from harm's reach. You get an advantage on your dexterity saving throw.
I do?
Yes, and you'll take half damage from whatever you do take if you fail.
Ooh, 12. Nice.
Okay. Debris is cast from the building in many different directions. The door itself is destroyed and splinters come flying everywhere. A brick goes soaring right past you, barely almost hitting Nugget as Nugget tries to carry you away from the danger. Fortunately, you take absolutely 0 damage. But as you are kind of swept up and taken into the air, Nugget circles around a couple of moments later, and you can see the destruction that you have wrought upon this building as moments later the top floors start to crumble into the bottom floor. And you can see that it kind of ripples throughout the building. The wheel now has started to fall apart even further, and parts of it are floating down the river and the waterfalls. Below you can see the 2 older ladies who are stood by the doorway. Both of them have lacerations across their bodies in various locations, but neither of them have moved. Both of them are staying completely still. You can see that one of the elderly ladies has a large chunk of wooden debris in her side. There's a massive splinter just pierced her.
You killed the ladies.
I don't think they were actually alive. I think they might have been under the influence of cordyceps. They're just zombies right now.
So either way, this building is crumbling into dust before you. Nugget
but not
swoops you
crumbling
down.
into flour.
Swoops you down and places you down next to Oro and Randall.
If
Flower power! Yes! My legacy. Oh my
Seeing stupid about to happen, Nugget acts. It's not destruction, it's extreme renovation.
Yeah, this should be on HGTV.
Oh my goodness.
Did Nugget get hurt at all?
No, Nugget is not injured.
Okay.
Did Nugget walk slowly away from the explosion?
Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, all walking that Nugget does is slow because Nugget has a movement speed of 10 feet.
Cool? Was it
It
cool?
was flying and it was very quick.
Do you've ever seen How to Train Your Dragon? The
Not
one
in
where, okay, there's one where Toothless has to save. I forget whether it's Hicken or his mother or father or whatever. But he goes like speed diving into an explosion, and they find him later, all like wrapped up, and he like opens up his arms because he's immune to fire. He's a dragon. And there's the person like lying there inside. And that is exactly what it looked like. Like Nugget flying in and like the save like wrap up and fly away. How to Train Your Nugget.
Oh.
So Nugget landing does plonk you on the floor. Just checks you over. You are currently on the ground.
Then rolls off his back.
And we are going to call it quits there.
Right after
You
she
are
says,
landed.
that was much bigger than expected.
That's hopefully what she said. And the credits roll.
Wow.
I know that in the American version his name was Hiccup, but given that that's a stupid ass name, I prefer to call him by the Norwegian version's name, which is Hicken, which actually makes sense for a Viking that their name would be Hicken, not Hiccup. Anyway, continue. Thank you.
Nerdy's catchphrase is slowly going to turn into, oops, I thought that was going to get better.
Basically, I thought about it, and I always play such like calculating characters that I was like, she has no reason to assume that this would go any differently than when she had seen like the small reaction happen before. Like, I'm just gonna clean out the inside of the building, whatever.
I just love the idea of standing with her comrades, walking over to a building and going, I'm going to fuck this shit up.
But it's Nurly, so instead of I'm going to fuck this shit up, it's there's spores in the flour.
Oro and Randall just like, the fuck? What the hell? Anyway, my cabbages.
Like, oh no, the cabbage vendor.
Oh man. Okay. Right. So we'll end our session there. What a explosive ending to that game.
That wasn't a cliffhanger.
It was also.
I mean, it's a semi cliffhanger. You know, what's going to happen next?
I bet the
wheel blew up a fucking windmill.
We got some explaining.
You just waltz into this fucking hamlet and blow shit out these poor people. They'll live their lives. Their moldy, rotten,
they're
covered
unlives.
lives.
Real talk. I imagine next episode, if the water wheel is going to take out one of the bridges. That's what I think is going to happen. That's our cliffhanger.
Right. Anyway. GG, friends.
Good go.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's had a fun time sitting in chat and participating and being lovely, and also people in the game, I guess.
Yeah, that's me.
You guys had some fun. I am working on, slowly but surely, a community D&D game, the practicalities of which we are ironing out.
I get to be the audience.
Yep. So keep
I'm gonna give all the things to the DM, and then you'll see what it's like.
No one knows what it's like.
And we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. It's gonna be a fun time. It's a payment to the community for you guys being involved and being around and just support us. But Jenny, you've been browsing who you want to raid?
I've just been having a quick little look-see. I have usually no idea, so let's have a look.
Nobody.
I think Bird versus Plane's on. They're not playing D&D, but they're very nice, and they do all their streaming stuff goes to charity.
Oh wait, that Kaora dude's streaming. That map maker dude.
Oh yeah, he raided, didn't he?
Yeah, he raided the other day,
Ooh.
and
I didn't win one of his maps today because that would have been a nice, convenient thing.
Next time.
We can pay him back.
let's do that. Okay, all right.
Pay it forward or whatnot.
He's from what I know, a nice dude. And we use some of his maps. I'm a Patreon of his. So I think that in itself.
Yeah. It all makes sense. You
It
rated
all
us a
adds
couple
up.
weeks ago. Very cool. Right. We'll see you next week. Yeah, next week.
I'll try not to blow anything else up unless that's what we decide to do. So as a group.
Unless I think it's the right course of action.
Right. Bye.
Bye.